Well, the time has come. It is Wednesday, the 12th, and it is time for Game 7 of the American Hockey League's Calder Cup Eastern Conference Finals. Again, Game 7 between the Hershey Bears and the Cleveland Monsters. Hello, my name is Deana Weinheimer. I will be joined here very soon by two of my co-hosts, Jay Forster and Andrew Rinaldi, actually from the AHL pre-show, will be joining us here for a bit of a squadcast here for the Calder Times. And then later on in the watch party, Corey Swartz will be joining us during intermissions live from the Giant Center. But first things first, we have to go over some key lineup changes that are impacting the Hershey Bears. So first of all, Ethan Frank left Game 6 early due to injury. He is out tonight. He's one of the leading scorers for this Hershey Bears team. Once again, he is out. Replacing him on the top line, Ivan Miroshnichenko. He will be slotting in on the right wing with on the Hendricks LaPierre line with Joe Snively on the left. Other than that, it's actually, so Pierrick Dubé will be coming back in as well. So he had been out with injury. He was seen at morning practice for the Bears with a bit of a modified bubble mask. So he's still working his way back, but he will be sliding into night for this critical Game 7. Otherwise, everything's status quo. Hunter Shepard will be in net for the Hershey Bears. So here is how their lineup is looking. On the top line, they have Snively, LaPierre, Miroshnichenko. Then on the second line, Limoges, Huntington, Rybinski. Third line is Vecchione, Rowe, Dubé. And the fourth line forwards are Strome, Sutter, and Trineyev. On defense, they have Harmon Octel with Dylan McElrath, Jake Massey with Chase Prisky, and then Logan Day and Vinny Iorio. For the Cleveland Monsters, they are skating the exact same lineup that they had for that critical Game 6, where they actually came back with less than a minute remaining, 17 seconds after the Hershey Bears took that leading goal there. So exact same forwards, exact same defense. Jack Reeves in net. No surprise there, but here's how their lineup is going to look. So on that first line, you have Brendan Gaunce at center with Mikhail Putia, Stefan Matteau on the right wing. Second line, Owen Sillinger at center, James Malatesta and Trafix Wolanski on the wings. Third line, Jake Gaudette with Tyler Engel and Roman Ashan. And then the fourth line that everyone has come to love. Well, if you're a Cleveland fan, you've come to love them. If you're a fan of any other team that has faced the Cleveland Monsters this season, you definitely don't like them. Josh Dunn at center, Justin Pearson on the left, Alex Whalen on the right. Looking at defense, we have Stanislav Svozil, David Juracek. On the second pairing, you have the brand new rookie, just came in the last couple games, Denton Mateychuk. He is paired with Jake Christensen, who scored that overtime goal to get Cleveland here to Game 7. And then Jakub Zaboral with Billy Sweezy. On that third defensive pair, a lot of experience. Not necessarily so in the playoffs, but a lot of just general AHL experience, two very heavy hitting bodies. And again, Jet Greaves in net. So that's how the lineups are shaking out. Now, let's take a look at how we got here. So this was a series, this Eastern Conference final, the entire postseason. And honestly, once we got going into the regular season this year in the American Hockey League, a lot of people felt that this was going to be Hershey's Calder Cup to lose. This Hershey Bears squad, one of the greatest American Hockey League teams to ever skate, so going into this, a lot of people were saying, Hershey in 4, Hershey in 5, just there's no way that the Monsters are going to keep up with them, especially since in the regular season, Cleveland failed to beat Hershey at all. I think they played 4 games or 5 games during the regular season, and Hershey won all of them. So a little bit of trepidation heading into this series, and a lot of Hershey fans just thought, hey, this is going to be just as easy as all these other series were. We're going to do it. We're going to probably face Coachella Valley again in the finals. And hey, why don't we go for the baker's dozen? Last year was sweeter by the dozen. This year, let's do the baker's dozen, But right now, Cleveland has them on the ropes. So we'll start all the way back on game 1, Thursday, May 30th. 2024 at the Giant Center, where the Hershey Bears won 5-4 in overtime. So in that one, the second period and the third period were scoring outbreaks for both teams, but the key in that game was David Jiricek, who came in with 20 seconds left in the third period to score that 4-4 tying goal. And then in overtime at 7:58, Mike Vecchione claiming that first win for the Hershey Bears. Now, that one was a pretty exciting game when you look at the special teams. Cleveland went 2 for 5 on the power play. Hershey 2 for 7. So obviously penalties a huge issue in that game. So as we get going here also, please feel free, if you are watching on YouTube or Facebook or Twitter, please feel free to join the conversation. Just go ahead and comment in the chat, or if you want to tweet us at the Calder Times, we will get your answer or your question, your comments on air as soon as possible. Again, if you're looking for Andrew Rinaldi or Jay Forster, they will be joining us here pretty soon. They had a couple of other obligations to take care of, but they will be back ASAP. So again, penalties a huge issue in game 1, especially David Jiricek, which again, he scored that tying game or that tying goal late in the third. So can't be too upset about that. So that was all the way back at the end of May, moving into June 1st, which was, it seems like so long ago, but on a Saturday evening in Hershey, the Bears also won in overtime 3-2. And of note, again, David Jiricek, for the second time in as many games, actually scored that game-winning goal, this time with a little over 90 seconds remaining. That was Brendan Gaunce's, I believe that was his first game back, getting his first point in the playoffs with that primary assist. Luca Del Bel Belouz with the secondary assist. But again, Hershey coming back, winning that game in overtime. Pierrick Dubé, which again, he has been out with injuries, slotting back in the lineup there. Penalties not as much of an issue in that game. The penalty killers, fantastic. Cleveland going 0 for 4 on the power play in game 2. Hershey 1 for 5. And then moving on to game 3. Game 3 was when it really looked like Hershey had found all the answers to Jet Greaves and the Cleveland roster when they won by a decisive 6-2 margin in Cleveland. That was Cleveland's first game of the Eastern Conference Finals at home, and it was just a rough go for them. That was a 4 goal period, second period for the Hershey Bears, and then Henrik Rubinski with an empty netter to just put the dagger in Cleveland at 15:54. Another rough go for penalties. However, special teams power play definitely coming back there. Hershey went 3 for 6 on the power play. Cleveland 1 for 4 back on game 3. So at that point, there was definitely a bit of nerves coming around. But then game 4 on June 6th, on Thursday, is when Cleveland began their comeback. They were down 3-0 in the series. At that point, they had nothing left to lose. So they go on, win 3-2 in regulation at that. Josh Dunn got the scoring started at 2:10 of the first. just lighting it up there. Ethan Frank later on in the first. Roman Ashawn showing up on the score sheet in the second period of that game. Then in the third, Jake Gaudette at 5:10, and then Garrett Rowe at 5:55. So really quiet on the penalty front in that game. Hershey going 1 for 2 on the power play. Cleveland 0 for 2. One of those penalties, a too many men penalty, which actually played even more of a role here later in this last game. But before I go too much further, I do have one of my co-hosts, Jay, is here to join me. How's it going?
Here I am. I am fashionably late, as they say, and very stressed.
Yeah, I was just going through how we got here, and hey, it's no longer a one-woman show. I have a co-host, so y'all don't have to listen to me fully ramble from now on. But I'm just going to go ahead and finish up this quick series recap here. We're up to that fun game 5 where Hershey fell to the Cleveland Monsters once again at the Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse 5-1. That was a four-goal period for in the second for the Cleveland Monsters. That game was just fantastic. Josh Dunn with 2 goals, Brendan Gaunce with 2 goals, and surprise, surprise, Alex Whalen on that fourth line also getting a goal in that series. Again, a quiet night for the power play. Cleveland went 1 for 4. And then Hershey 0 for 4. Game 6, which we all remember how that went this past Monday, June 10th, where the Monsters, for the first time in this postseason, in this series, and in Hershey's postseason, defeat Hershey at home in OT. All of the games in Hershey have gone to overtime. Cleveland getting it done. So that, speaking of done, it looked like, okay, so let me back up here. Third period, it's tied 1-1. At 19:10 of the third, Joe Snively, who has been a huge off score sheet let me try that again. A huge office score sheet contributor scores. Less than 50 seconds remaining. You could see the shot. Jack Reeves is just sprawled out on the ice. You can see the look on Cleveland's faces, just a little dejected, a little. I just honestly felt so bad for them. But then Monsters head coach Trent Vogelhuber calling that crucial timeout, gets his team back together. 17 seconds later, Captain Brendan Gaunce, Captain Clutch of the Cleveland Monsters, scoring a goal to tie it up, sends it into overtime. We get through an almost entire OT period. And then Jake Christensen, who has been out the entire playoffs, first game back, just kind of pivots and just throws a puck on net, and it went in. So that is how the Cleveland Monsters came back from a 3-0 deficit in the Eastern Conference Finals to force this game 7. Jay, are you ready for this tonight? I don't think I'm ready.
I have spent all day being like, they're going to win. They're going to lose. They're going to win. They're going to lose. They're going to win. And I still don't know where I am in all of that. I talked about this on today's episode of Locked On Blue Jackets earlier. Like, I have no idea how this game is going to go. Like, the Monsters could steamroll the Bears. The Bears could steamroll the Monsters. It could be a 8-7 nightmare game. It could be a 1-0 game. I have no concept of how any of this is going to go. It should be fun.
So one thing to really think about here, though, is 8 years ago, I think it was yesterday, where Cleveland had another very important victory over the Hershey Bears. That time it was for the actual Calder Cup. So
I forgot that they used to be in the West.
Right.
I was like, how did two Eastern teams play for the cup? And then I realized, oh no, it's the it sure is when they were in the Central and everything was bad. This has been a hell of a series, though. The most interesting and exciting series I think I've watched in these AHL playoffs. I can't speak to the NHL because I watched as little of that as possible, because all of the teams there are terrible. But for my money, this has been the most exciting series to watch, except for potentially the Milwaukee Grand Rapids series. That was a really great series to watch as well. But this feels like a Calder Cup final series, and no disrespect to Coachella Valley, who I think are going to be a tough opponent for either team, but it really does feel like whoever wins this game just deserves to have the cup. Like, can we just award it tonight and be done with it?
That would take a lot of stress off of my shoulders, and would it really be great for my sleep schedule. But so I'm listening. So of course I got my nice over ears on, and then like I do with all watch parties, I have one earbud in listening to Tony Brown's fantastic call, and I'm getting goosebumps all over again because they're doing the like highlights from Game 6, and right now they're doing the. I'll tell you one thing: I didn't hear no bell. The season comes down to the last, X number of seconds, and then he scores, Josh Dunn, because at that point we thought the puck went in off of Josh Dunn, and now they're doing the Jay Christensen thing, and I'm just like, yeah, I know you can't see it through the camera, but goosebumps all over again.
I watched earlier today. I watched the Behind the Battle episode, so the Blue Jackets have been putting together for these games. Tony Brown almost ascended to a new plane of existence on that Jay Christensen goal.
Yeah, he did.
If you haven't seen them, guys, and you are a Monsters fan listening in, they're really good. It's a little bit of behind the scenes, it's a little bit of game highlights. I am struck with how eloquent and composed Trent Vogelhuber is at all times. Listening to him talk, like I would run through a wall for him. I would, if I can throw back to yesterday or this morning's wonderful episode of Calder's Calling, I would push my grandma down a flight of stairs if Trent asked me to. It's grandma pushing time. So.
Yeah, and I think what really helps with Trent Vogelhuber is he was in not this exact position, because that 2016 Lake Erie Monsters team was, they struggled a bit during the season, but they came together at the exact right time. And he was in that Josh Dunn role. He was that fourth line center, lots of personality, lots of grit, just doing everything he needs to do. And I'm sorry if you hear any noise or see a little dog head. My golden retriever has decided to make an appearance. Yeah, here's Jasmine. I never thought we'd get a dog cameo, but here we are. So everyone say hello to Jasmine. But at that point, it was Jared Bednar, current head coach of the Colorado Avalanche, who is now a Stanley Cup winning coach. So he learned under him. Then he comes into his coaching role behind Mike Eaves, who, again, a very, very fantastic coach. But Trent Vogelhuber is just the way he gets his players to buy in on what he says, what he thinks, all of that is just fantastic. And I have been so honored to help cover this team, and to just pick his brain every time I'm up in Cleveland.
He's going to get NHL calls sooner rather than later, which does make me sad because he does deserve it, but also I want to keep him in the organization, which I'm sure is how Hershey Bears fans feel as well. Like, I'm shocked that Todd Nelson hasn't been getting, or I'm sure he has. I'm sure he's had a ton of interviews. I know that Calgary was an option for him, I believe, or potentially the Sharks was an option for him. People were talking about him maybe going to the Ottawa Senators as in an NHL role, So I'm sure Hershey Bears fans know exactly how Monsters fans feel about Trent Vogelhuber because they feel exactly the same about Todd Nelson. who, correct me if I'm wrong, this is his first year behind the bench for the Bears, because last season was, am I wrong in that? I'm going to Google that to double check, but I'm pretty sure last season Spencer Carberry was the coach.
No,
That's why we need Corey here.
it was Todd Nelson.
Am I making it up? I think I'm lying.
Because I think last season was when Spencer Carberry went to Washington. I mean, Todd Nelson's been there.
Oh, excuse me. Yeah.
Yep. He's been
he
there
left
since
in 2021. So yeah, it was Todd Nelson last year. But I stand by what I stand by the crux of my argument, which is two excellent coaches going up against each other. This really has been two powerhouse teams, you know? And when you look at where the Monsters were this time last year.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
It's all the more impressive, I think. Not to take away from what the Hershey Bears have done this season, because they were also incredible, but I think they were just as good last season. Obviously, they won the Calder Cup. But you look at the jump that Cleveland has made from last year to this year, and it just kind of, how much of that is due to buy-in for Trent Vogelhuber?
A decent amount. Plus,
obviously, there was injuries and lineup issues last season, and Columbus was cursed and kept taking everyone. But this season, it really feels like, and like I got to talk to Trent a little bit at the All-Star game in San Jose. Like, when you talk to him, you can just kind of tell what kind of coach he is and what kind of person he is. And that's why I go back to, like, yeah, I'd run through a wall for this guy, because you can tell he lives and breathes this team.
Mm-hmm.
He loves it here. He loves this team. The way he talks about them is so great. And I want all of the nice things for Trent Vogelhuber. I really do.
So before we get too much into this, they're finishing up the anthems in Hershey, right? Or the anthem. It's two American teams. We just want to invite you to join the conversation. If you're on Twitter, tag us at the Calder Times. We'd love to get your comments on the air. If you're on Facebook or YouTube, leave us a comment, question, your thoughts, your predictions. But you are watching, once Andrew Rinaldi gets here, it will officially be a squad cast with the Calder Times. Just again, real quick recap of the lineup changes for the Hershey Bears. Ethan Frank, who was injured in Game 6, is out tonight. What's that?
Oh boy, I said.
Yeah. Huge
full disclosure,
loss.
I came from recording a different podcast immediately to here, so this is all news to me. But,
okay.
That is a big loss.
So, yeah, Ethan Frank out. Ivan Miroshnichenko moving up to that top line on the right wing. Coming back from injury for Hershey is Pierrick Dubé. He is coming in where Miroshnichenko normally skates. Other than that, everything status quo. For the Hershey Monsters, as the puck drops.
Cleveland Monsters, not the Hershey Monsters.
Oh my gosh. Cleveland Monsters. Everything's a monster right now. For the Cleveland Monsters, everything status quo. Jack Reeves and net, the exact same lines, exact same pairings as Game 6. And like I said, Game 7 underway.
It's fine. Don't worry. Everything is fine. No one here is stressed. Before that we get too far into the game, knee-jerk reaction. Who scores the first goal? Which player?
Like in general or for each team?
In general. I guess you could do each team if you want to.
Okay, I'm gonna buy myself a second at a time. I want to say what's up to my friend Mark Allred. What's up, AHL hockey freaks? Hey, Mark, thank you so much for tuning in. Just great supporter. I appreciate him. If you need any Providence Bruins or Boston Bruins updates, follow him on Twitter. So knee-jerk reaction. I think Miroshnichenko really needs to get going if Hershey wants to win this one tonight. Putting him in that top line might get him going enough. So I'll say Miroshnichenko for the Hershey Bears. I think we're not going to settle down on that fourth line anytime soon. But you know who I'd really like to see get on the score sheet for Cleveland? Let's get Justin Pearson going.
It's been a minute, yeah.
It has.
And he's been contributing in other ways. He is still, I believe, second or third in team scoring. So, he's been contributing. I believe he has 2 goals and 9 assists, which is some Jake Voracek numbers. But yeah, a goal from him would be fun. I'd love to see Trey Fix-Wolansky get on the board. I'd love to see Owen Sillinger get back on the board. He opened the scoring for Game 6. Would love to see him get another one. I agree. They need to get Miroshnichenko going. I think they need to get. I'd be good to see Pierre-Eric Dubé in his return from injury. I have a feeling about Chase Prisky. He's been excellent for them the entire run.
All right, and so we got we got a little bit of a tussle here. So question from Jameson Hardy: is the game going to be live streamed here? Unfortunately, due to a lot of copyrights and TV deals and stuff, we cannot live stream the entire game. However, I will be doing my best to pull key moments and we can check things out. Mark Allred, thanks so much for and you are welcome. We have a Bears fan checking in. John E. Let's go Bears. Cleveland fans, where are you at? Let's hear you in the comments, friends. But yeah, we had a nice little opportunity there for Cleveland on Hunter Shepard down low. Not surprising. And hey, it was the guy that I called it, Justin Pearson at 149. But we have 1 shot on goal each. Jameson, you are very welcome. Go Monsters. Let's go Cleveland. There we go.
I don't know if I'm supposed to be being unbiased again, but Corey's not here, so we could just make this an entire... This is a Monsters podcast now. No.
Nice.
We have to be a little bit, at least a little bit unbiased, but we do obviously talk about, what we know the most about, and to plug ourselves a little bit, theCalderTimes.com is where you can find all of our written work. We've done a ton of playoff coverage I think we did coverage for every single team that made the playoffs, which is very cool. And it was a lot of fun to do. So if you want more Monsters talk, you want more Bears talk, theCalderTimes.com, more Coachella Valley Firebird talk, theCalderTimes.com is where you can find all of that. Not much either way in the early going, which kind of speaks to what we were talking about on this morning's podcast, which was both teams seem to struggle to get into the zone because of how good the defense is for the other team, and that's a really even playing field. I feel like that's the 3rd shot of the game, and we're 3 minutes in, which maybe that's kind of on track. For that paces out to about 60 shots a game, but it doesn't feel like any of those shots have been A+ chances. And I think both teams are. It's tough to say, but it feels like both teams are really kind of gonna gut this one out, which is a stressful way to watch and play a game. But
yeah, it's pretty speedy so far. A lot of full 200 game. Oh, Jameson subscribing. I'm your 38th subscriber. Thank you so much. We definitely appreciate that. If you're on YouTube, check us out. The Calder Times. Give us a follow. We appreciate it.
Check out real quick. Calling every
Wednesday. We got Bigfoot Anon. Love the profile picture. Go Cleveland. And then John checking in from about 30 minutes from Hershey. I was around 30 minutes from Hershey back on what was that game 2 overnighted in Dillsburg before headed to Hershey to cover that game. So we are about 4 minutes into the first period. No score right now. The official shot count, Hershey has 2, Cleveland has 1. Offsides here on the Monsters. So we're gonna take this back out and teams get set, but right now just a little bit of feeling each other out, a little bit to see who's going to dictate the pace here. But overall, Cleveland's fast, and that's one of my keys to victory is Cleveland needs to keep Hershey's feet moving, because whenever they're fast, that's what they did in game 6. And they got Hershey on what, too many men penalties? Because they're fast. They are fast.
Yeah, it was the officiating was interesting in game 6. I don't think it was necessarily bad, but there was some choices that were made.
Yep.
And a lot of it seemed to be, we're going to let them play unless you have 6 men on the ice for 0.3 seconds.
Yep. And we have another co-host, the last full-time co-host joining us today, Andrew Rinaldi from the AHL pre-show. Andrew, what's up?
My ankle is feeling great, and I'm ready for all the vibes. What have I missed so far?
You've missed a grand total of 3 shots. We've got people checking in from Massachusetts, from Pennsylvania. We got some Cleveland fans, got some Hershey fans, and we got a guy cheering for Billy Sweezy, my man. So, everything and nothing.
That's kind of what I expected. I figured it was either going to be like not really a snore fest to start out, but 2 teams that don't want to make that first mistake. Or I was going to get on and it's going to be like, oh, it's 2-1 already.
Chase Prisky almost with the goal, but Jack Greaves getting just literally his skate blade on it.
That's my guy.
Yeah, he's having himself a postseason, huh?
Just slightly. But yeah, Jameson checking in from Bowling Green, Ohio, close to my neck of the woods-ish. I'm down in the Columbus area. Been up to Bowling Green a few times. So,
Bowling Green alum. So yeah, go Falcons.
Nice. Okay, I gotta go pull that clip of that Jack Greaves save because holy moly.
Yeah, you're pulling double duties, huh? Not just coverage, but podcast hosting and everything.
We do it all here at the Calder Times.
I own the site. I'm kind of like obligated to. Okay, so we are. Yeah, I'm going to load this clip in. So y'all feel free to
it's getting
chat while I do this.
Lopsided in the game now. Shots of 5-1 to Hershey, so we could really do with Cleveland picking it up a little bit there. But Jack Greaves so far looking good, looking strong. Again, just I feel like it has to be said how good the goaltending has been in this series from both sides. Which, as someone who appreciates when goalies are good, is fun, but also very stressful. Every time I'm like, man, Hunter Shepard, what if you didn't make that save? What if instead you made a different save or didn't make a save at all? But both goalies, very, very solid.
It's so anxiety inducing on both sides because when it's your goalie, it's like, oh, he's getting chances. Like he made that's a great save. And so the anxiety is there because, oh man, he's got the puck on his stick right on the doorstep. And then on the other side, it's like, why can't we score? And it's just, why do we endear ourselves to a game that just makes us
sorry. There was almost a goal for Cleveland. Hunter Shepard getting his stick out at just the right time. But let's go back and look at this fantastic opportunity from the Bears here earlier in the period. Like you had my mind's escaping me right now. 15. Who's 15? Oh, Jimmy Huntington.
Yes.
Down low on Jet and just barely gets in on that. Just
great save.
Jet just getting his pads on it, but there we go. So 13:09 remaining in the first. We are still 0-0. We Hershey is leading in shots 5-3. And just a reminder, if you're watching, hello to everybody here on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter/X. Feel free to tweet us at the Calder Times or just put something in the comments. We'd love to answer your questions. We'd love to hear your predictions. And then we got a comment on Twitter from John S. Real good Monsters fan saying, "Let's go Monsters. Be very, very quiet. We are melting bears."
How far is that drive to Hershey for you? Or at least maybe from the Cleveland area?
From the Cleveland area, it's shorter.
Like 4 or 5 hours?
I think it's like, 4 or 5 hours for Cleveland. With stops, it took me about 7 from Mid-Ohio.
Ooh.
So that was a heck of a drive by myself.
Warrior. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Deana wins the reporter that traveled the furthest to get to a game in this postseason.
It was
Postseason.
well worth it.
I think I win for Calder Times reporter that traveled the furthest to get to a game.
Anywhere, yeah.
But,
I think you got us all beat.
I did cross an ocean to go to the All-Star Classic, but...
Right. We got Dennis Coher checking in. Monsters, let's go. I can co-sign that.
Do you have a horse in this race, Andrew? How do you feel about this matchup?
I'm torn, right? Because I love the round 2 grudge match look for Coachella, but at the same time, Great Lakes brethren, and you also want to see some fresh blood, I mean, and who doesn't want to see a 3-0 comeback? So I think my heart is with the Monsters right now. My brain might be saying Hershey, Coachella, just for the vibes, but I think the vibes are actually in the Cleveland corner at this point. So
it's tough to count Hershey out when you look at what they did in the regular season. When you look at what they've done in the postseason, they're the reigning Calder Cup champions. They are the last team to repeat as well, which I found out at the start of this season. I was like, man, Hershey could be the first team to repeat since Hershey did it back in like 2007, 2008, I think it was. It's a tough team to count out, but like you said, the vibes are with the Monsters, the momentum's with the Monsters. It's gonna be.
Do you know what else is working in the Monsters' favor? Okay, so how's this for a stat? So a lot of people were asking about this reverse sweep. Has it ever happened in the American Hockey League where a team goes up to 1 game left in until they clinch and then they drop the remaining games, so like Hershey up 3-0 and then having a team win the next 4. So that has happened 3 times in AHL history. The 1960 Rochester Americans, the 1989 Adirondack Red Wings. Try that again. The Adirondack Red Wings, and then
Red Wings is tough to say.
It's the Adirondack that got me. And then in 2013, with the Wilkes-Barre Scranton Penguins. Who would like to guess who was in net for the Wilkes-Barre Scranton Penguins for all 4 of those games?
So I can't play this because I actually read this tweet this morning and used
I read the thread too, so I can't say it.
I used it on today's Locked On Blue Jackets. So
Okay. But
there was in fact a Monsters legend, current goaltending coach, requisite old goalie for emotional support, Brad Thiessen.
Yes, Brad Thiessen pulled off that reverse sweep. In that reverse sweep over the Providence Bruins, Brad Thiessen, earning that brick wall Brad name, put up 2 shutouts in that series. First was a 4-0 win in game 4, and then in game 7, 5-0. So checking back in the comments, Jameson, thanks so much for all your interaction here. Says he's only been to 2 Monsters games ever, just getting back into hockey last season. Always having a blast at the Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse. I will co-sign that. He's got the Guardians on the TV, and he's got us on the phone. Love the multi-screen multitasking.
You got to get him more Monsters games next season, my guy. It's a blast.
Yeah, he's been to as many Monsters games as I have, so...
You got to come down. You're not that far away.
I know. That's just a miserable fail on my part. Well, it was because the Monsters games opened up before anyone else on the Wolves schedule did. So when they had a little weekend jam in Cleveland, I was like, yeah, I'm going, well, this was during that Frankenstein 2021 season. So, COVID
yes.
was a very real thing. The Wolves were in their practice arena all year. And even as other teams were opening up, they were like, no, we like it fine just here. So yeah, that was my first live event post lockdowns and everything. So
that's when we went out to lunch.
That's
lunch,
right.
Dinner combo at what was it? Fatheads up in Cleveland. Good brewery, good food. Not sponsored.
Not a sponsor. But you could be.
We can work. That's open ended.
We're open to conversations, fatheads.
I would love that because they're bumbleberry, everything. With the salads, with the drinks, all that with that in it. Beautiful. So just a quick recap here. Cleveland's starting to close in on that gap on shots. There is 10:47 remaining. There seems to be a little bit of a pause in action here.
Crime.
Oh, okay. But 10:47 remaining. Hershey has the slight edge on shots, 6-4. Right now, we don't have any official ones. Jameson knows what I'm talking about. Bumbleberry. Yeah, the bumbleberry. That and the, I got to say it right, the goggle fogger. I always want to say Google Fooger. And it's just like, that's not it. There's not enough zeros. But
say that one 5 times fast.
Right. I always mess it up. That's why I like the bumbleberry easier. But he's got Brown season tickets, goes to 1 to 2 Cap games during the season. So he's trying. Oh, he was at the game where Shooter McGavin dropped the puck. I was there. That was a pretty cool game.
God,
that was so fun to have Shooter McGavin there. It was.
I've been enjoying the Cleveland celebrities dropping the ceremonial puck for this game.
I had a mini fangirl moment when wow, the name escaped me. Ignore me. My brain just broke. I was thinking of the bumbleberry and how I need to make a trip up there. So
I gotta ask, like, I guess Coachella was kind of in town, kind of getting practice ready and everything. Did they jinx the Bears by maybe shooting the gun? Because now they're going to have to end up traveling back home if Cleveland pulls this off. And I feel like that was just a major, like, oh, we're going to assume that the series is over, so pack the bags. But
it would be so funny. And I'm saying this because Corey's not here and he can't get mad about it. It would be so funny if they flew all the way to Hershey and then had to turn around 3 days later and fly back to Coachella Valley.
It would be
because they jumped the gun and decided that Hershey was winning this series.
It would quickly become my second favorite AHL travel story. We know who lives in number 1 spot. So.
Okay, for those that don't know, you have to share that, Andrew. You can't just allude to it and pull up the bobblehead and not give this
true.
Story.
So here I have this adorable little Swedish meatball named by the name of Jonathan Berggren, who has just the cadence of an innocent golden retriever puppy through and through.
The lights are on, but no one is home.
Exactly.
Jonathan Berggren has never had a thought in his life, you know?
Just right. No thoughts.
All vibes.
So
me.
Berggren comes to Red Wing camp, and they tell him, okay, we're going to assign you to Grand Rapids. And so, again, no thoughts. In his head, he just plugs into his GPS, Grand Rapids, gets into his car, and goes. And he arrives in Grand Rapids, Ohio, a village in our beloved state to the south, which has tens of thousands of inhabitants less than Grand Rapids, Michigan. He expected a big city, a metropolitan area, and a big hockey rink, and he was met with farms. So,
Grand Rapids, Ohio, the bustling metropolis of 925 people.
Ooh.
Could you imagine?
Listen, when you're European and you come to America and you're used to like driving for 45 minutes to get to another country, the concept of having a second Grand Rapids in driving distance of the actual Grand Rapids is confusing, you know?
So
he's trying his best.
Jameson lives 15 minutes from Grand Rapids, Ohio. So yeah. All right, so checking back in on the game here. Honestly, again, just full 200-foot game, which honestly, I'm glad that Cleveland's keeping their feet moving here, because one thing they've really struggled with, and we'll see how this plays out in the second, because this really happens. Ooh, nice cross ice or cross crease pass by Trey Fix-Wolanski, but nothing happened there. So Hershey has done a real good job, especially in the second period this season or this series, of getting Cleveland's defense just hemmed in front of Greaves and just staying there. And the guys get so worn down, and Hershey just keeps coming and coming and coming. And yeah, and they've been awesome on the transition, on the breakouts, 3-2 rushes. So to see Cleveland keeping the full 200-foot game, eventually that's going to, knock on wood, work in their favor.
Yeah, Milwaukee did the same thing in Grand Rapids. When you have that long change, those extended offensive zone times where you just, even clearing the puck out, you can get it to the neutral zone, but they're coming right back at you, and your bench is all the way that way. You can't. It makes those changes so hard. You got to get to the red line. You got to dump it in deep, because if that momentum just builds and builds and builds and builds.
It's tough because, and we talked about this on this morning's Calder's Calling as well, both of these teams are excellent at shutting down in the defensive zone. So it's really tough for both teams to get pucks deep, you know, like it's a cliche for a reason. But it's true, you know, and there's very few opportunities for either of these teams to, like I said, just dump the puck. Because it's not getting dumped, it's getting cut. The pass is getting cut off, the dumping is getting cut off, the puck's going the other way. So it's tough. You've really got to be smart with your line changes, especially if you're doing them on the fly. And you've got to be smart with your dumpings. Like I'm not a fan of dump and chase hockey. Sometimes you got to do it. When you do it, you got to do it right.
Can you have intervention with my friend Derek Lalone, please? That man wrote the book on dump and chase hockey.
I would be like, okay, no dump and chase. You're not allowed to ice the puck on the penalty kill. No drop passes on the power play, and also draft more small goalies. Done. I fixed hockey. You're welcome.
So I've got a clip for you. So we know Dylan McElrath as a really heavy player, right? Watch what happens here between him and Jake Christensen. So watch 42 here and 23 here. Watch what happens. Here comes 23.
Oh.
Jake Christensen.
When you see Jake's head kind of like linger there and look over, you know that there's words coming out, and I wish I could be a fly on the glass, but
nothing he's saying is PG. I love when people are like, man, I wish they mic'd hockey players up more often, and I'm like, no, you don't, because they mic them up and they get 45 minutes of cussing, and then 15 minutes of wooing. You know?
So
I'm a big Ric Flair guy, so I'm all about the woos, but
so the tail of the tape on this one, Jake Christensen, 6 feet 190, Dylan McElrath, 6'4", 235. Talk about a thundering hit that Jake Christensen sent that man flying.
He's a beefcake, that Dylan McElrath.
Yeah, big boy. big boy.
All right, so those tuning in just now, hello, thank you for checking in. We are 2/3 of the Calder's Calling podcast and 1/2 of the AHL pre-show on the Calder Times Network, we are doing a live watch party of Game 7 of the American Hockey League's Eastern Conference Finals between the Hershey Bears, Cleveland Monsters. Game 7. If you are on Facebook or YouTube, please feel free to leave a comment. We will feature you on the show, just like Dennis did. Thanks, Dennis, for checking in. Monsters, let's go. If you're on Twitter, tag us at the Calder Times, and we'd be happy to hear your predictions, hear who you're cheering for, answer any questions, and oh my gosh, thank goodness for Justin Pearson, who just kicked the puck out of the way. But with 6:51 not 6:51. I'm looking at the wrong screen. 7:02 remaining in the first. Cleveland has, after going out to an early deficit on shots, they are now ahead 7-6 over Hershey. But where it counts, 0-0.
It's good to see that Justin Pearson's getting ready for the Euros that get started on Friday. So I know I'm a big soccer guy. I'm looking forward to that, and I see he's in the mood for it as well. That was a great defensive play to kind of kick that puck out of the danger zone right in front of the Greaves' net.
It's so funny. Every time I talk to a European hockey player and they realize that I am also European, and they're like, oh, whereabouts do you live? And when I say, oh, just outside Manchester in the UK, they're like, Manchester United? I'm like, listen, I'm glad that you care. I don't. I only have the brain width for one sport because I don't know how to like things casually. And I simply don't have time to care about soccer as much as I care about hockey. But it's very funny. Every single time I talk to a European hockey player, they get really excited about Manchester United. Marco Sturm, head coach of the Ontario Reign, when we interviewed him on Calder's Calling, was like, oh, a German team, I can't remember what the German team was, but they just beat Manchester United in like the Champions League or whatever. And I was like, listen, I'm happy for you. I don't care.
Oh, Mateau Gauntz. Mateau and Gauntz on a little bit of a breakaway there, but we had a Hershey get a stick in there.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't tell who that was. I think maybe I need to get my numbers straight here.
It's tough. There are so many of them.
Vincent Iorio. I know all the Cleveland people by number, but I'm still struggling with the Hershey guys. Like, I know Dubé, Snively, Vecchione, Rubinski, Rowe. The other ones, Miroshnichenko, number 10, can't forget that, but yeah.
You see, the good part about Miroshnichenko is that you don't even have to learn his number because you just see the
longest nameplate,
3 letters on top, and then that's
oh my God. We need to bring this comment back. Sweezy. Oh,
that's also how I feel about Billy Sweezy, so I get it.
Gosh. That was a heck of a hit, and now I can't find it. Where'd it go? Yes, Sweezy's the guy. When did that happen? Because now I can't find it to get the clip. It was a heck of a play, though.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'll look for it later. So fun fact about Billy Sweezy, because we see him as this imposing player on the ice and just amazing defenseman, all that kind of thing. But fun fact, he's actually the leader of the book club on the Monsters. They have a book club. Billy Sweezy's the leader.
I love when hockey teams have a book club.
Oh.
It's so important to me personally, a person with 2 English degrees.
Oh, good chance there. Nice save.
Huge chance for the Monsters just now. But Joe Snively getting a stick on it. You guys take over. I'm going to grab this clip.
So what do you think Billy Sweezy reads? Like, what's his...
If he's anything like any other hockey player, my guess is books about mindfulness. They're big on like meditation books. They're big on leadership books. Historical nonfiction is big with hockey players.
Okay.
Which I guess it's probably mostly like military based stuff because that's hockey players and like soldiers are very kind of
Right.
psychologically similar.
Warrior mentality.
Very few of them read fiction, which makes me sad. But I am dying to know what Billy Sweezy reads like on the bus.
It makes me think like how my tastes would change if I ever made it professionally. Like in the alternate timeline, Andrew, where he was actually could skate and wasn't breaking his leg, losing his edge. Like, I wonder what he would be into. Because like I was hopefully hearing like Lord of the Rings or something, that guy like
So
I can pull off my
apparently
bookshelf.
Chris Kreider, who is like genuinely very smart and in addition to being good at hockey and everything, apparently he has been giving Matt Rempe in New York a bunch of like weird fantasy books to read. And again,
Matt Rempe
I'm dying to know what he's recommending to people.
What did I start?
You told us to take the wheel.
I know. But
I know Eric Branson is big on like thrillers, which is fun. But yeah, no, like Deana, next time you have Billy Sweezy for media availability, you got to ask. Can we get Billy Sweezy on the podcast to talk about books?
I'll get in contact with Nicole Del Villano. She's the main media contact for Cleveland, and she's part of the book club. So,
perfect.
Yeah. So
like, hey, we want to talk to Billy about the book club.
Yeah. So, let's take a look at this huge goal just before the break, or huge shot on goal.
I was going to say, Deana.
I wish.
What is happening?
But you got to watch over here. If you can see my mouse cursor with Joe Snively just barely getting a stick on it, and I suppose I have to hit play again. That would be helpful. Gets taken down, and
beautiful shot block.
Beautiful.
Joe Snively is one of those players that doesn't seem like he's ever doing a ton. And then sometimes you look up and you're like, oh, it's Joe Snively. Oh, it's Joe Snively. Oh, it's Joe Snively again. Just a really quietly competent player.
Big save.
Jimmy Malatesta on a huge breakaway and just gets it right into Hunter Shepard's chest. And Jasmine, would you like to make another appearance, honey? Come here.
I would like her to make another appearance.
She made a small appearance earlier. It was
Jazzy, people want to see
new host of
and she just ran out of the room.
Aww.
She got stage fright. She's hello. Oh, Jasmine. Jasmine's my 2-year-old golden retriever, for those not in the know. Come here, Jasmine.
I do like that it sounds like we are talking about a small child, like a toddler.
Hello. She basically is a toddler.
Yeah, basically.
You want to come up here? She has one of her balls in her mouth and she wants to go run. What? So, question for those in the know: when do I kick my husband out of the house to make him go drive around town?
17 minutes of gameplay, though. You gotta
I don't
go.
know if you hear him cackling in the other room.
Oh yeah,
you gotta go, Gary.
I was about to say, if I was Gary, I'd already been down at the local watering hole getting to see if I can get this on TV, and then just then like with about 5 minutes left in the third period, there's just a raucous of about 5 dudes just walking in, mostly maybe not hammered, but pretty buzzed, and that's where the entertainment comes from as we head into overtime.
It's fine. I already manifested 7 overtimes. On Calder's calling this morning, I think that what I said was, I want this game to still be happening when I wake up in the morning.
And that took a year off of Corey Swartz's and my life, because we have been through all the overtime.
I live for the chaos.
So with 2:30 remaining and counting, Cleveland maintaining that edge on shots, 9-8. No goals as of yet. Some spectacular saves by the goaltenders. A lot of good stick work in the defensive zone for each team.
I think.
And
was a penalty.
Cleveland going on the power play.
I thought I caught Jet Greaves just sprinting to the bench, which is one of my favorite things when goalies have to run for the bench and then just kind of throw themselves at it. It's heavy. It's tough to get over the bench when you're wearing all of that gear. I could say from experience. I only have little legs. So at 17:59 of the first period, Riley Sutter going off for
tripping. Of course, the fans in Hershey, none too happy. If you're cheering for Hershey, like John checked in earlier on in the game, cheering for Hershey, let us know. Who do you think is going to be their hero if they win? We'd love to hear your predictions. Monsters fans, again, we've had quite a few. We've had, I love saying this, Bigfoot. We've had Dennis. We've had Jameson. We've had, everyone checking in. We want to know, who are you cheering for? Huge a shot attempt just now by Denton Matejchuk, who is in his third game?
Fourth game.
Fourth game ever in the pros. So
Monsters unbeaten with Matejchuk in the lineup.
I love this. But yeah, leave a comment, tweet us at the Calder Times, and yeah, let us know what you're thinking. So 141 and counting remaining on the power play, and Matejchuk going through 4 Hershey players to get into the zone. I'm beyond impressed by this kid. The way
we can't turn this into the Denton Matejchuk show, because I will just talk about it for the next 45 minutes. I love this kid so much. He has played a ton of hockey this spring already. Took, I think, 4 days off between the Memorial Cup and coming to Cleveland. Came in game 4, has looked phenomenal. I'm so excited for this kid's future.
I'm stressing. Oh, come on. Yes! Yes!
I think that was Mr. Fix.
Score!
I think that was Fix.
Power play goal. Trey Fix-Wolanski. Sorry for screaming, but he's my man. I'm the inaugural president of the Trey Fix-Wolanski fan club, and I am jazzed. Okay, I'm going to clip this. Y'all keep talking.
Second chance opportunity.
Yep. Hey, if you can't score the pretty ones, you got to score the dirty ones,
Well,
Josh Dunn doing Josh Dunn things.
And I love how, Cleveland kind of worked the puck at the top of the key there. Drew, look at that, 3 Hershey penalty killers at the top of the circle. So there's plenty of time and space for Fix, not just to get all that space for his shot, but to clean up his own rebound too.
Mm-hmm.
And there you go, monster strike at the end. End of the period, power play. That's one that still 50 seconds left, but just Cleveland really been coming on. I don't want to say it was since I showed up, but it was kind of since I showed up that the Monsters started playing better. So
yeah, you did this personally.
Welcome, I guess is supposed to be the way to put it. But yes, great puck movement by Cleveland. Fix does what Fix does.
He's so key for this team, and I will be with the clip here. It's a little bit of a longer clip, but it's okay because we want to get all the good views of this because it's impressive, even with Dylan McElrath just trying to maul him as he gets the shot off, but talk about a huge discrepancy.
Oh boy. What we got? What just happened there? It looked like Jack kind of got bowled over, but let's see what the replay says. For now, we got ourselves a tie game up here. Oh yeah. I look like Owen Sillinger absolutely bowled over a Bear. It looks like Huntington. Greaves with no chance on that.
That's not a good look on Owen Sillinger, but let's go ahead and look back at this Cleveland Monsters goal and just watch Matejchuk. Okay, yeah. So Fix-Wolanski is going to come in over here. Watch how he creates all this space for himself and just gets in. Here comes McElrath afterwards and just gets him in the back.
Yeah, that probably didn't feel too good.
No, but we got
I do
some
think
good
also this is besides the point. I do think David Jiricek did kiss Trey Fix-Wolanski full on the mouth there, which I do appreciate.
I didn't even see it. Okay, so here's a better angle, and
Yeah,
There he goes.
I don't know who. There was one Hershey Bear in particular. I can't read his number because he's got his jersey tucked up, but he looked like he did a nice flyby past Matejchuk, and like I said, there's one defender all alone trying to cover two guys, and yeah, like I said, you can't give Fix that much time and space. But on the other side, yeah, we're all tied up with 19 seconds left. Hershey's equalized, and
It's a tough goal to give up.
I'm not happy about it.
If I'm Jet Greaves, I'm chasing Owen Cylinder with a hammer. In this
I'm chasing with my own skate blade.
Yeah. Although, again, to go back to behind the battle and Trent Vogelhuber and what he's been saying in these intermissions after these games, etc., something that I've noticed he says a lot is we've come out of this period tied or better.
Tied or
and
better.
That's the focus.
Yep.
You know? The game is reset now. It's basically nothing.
Yep.
Play the next period.
Okay, give me a second to load this clip up, and we're going to go ahead and take a look at this Hershey goal.
Frustrating, because it's inexcusable and like it doesn't look like he meant to do it.
Right, he was kind of coming in with momentum, and Huntington was there.
Yeah, but like he's been playing long enough to know that you shouldn't shove a player into your own goalie. Like,
right,
frustrating.
There's other ways to go. Yeah.
That's
not it.
You know, that's bad decision making from Sillinger. That's absolutely nothing on Jet Greaves there. What's he supposed to do about it?
But surprisingly, it's Logan Day again, the defenseman, getting on the score sheet there for Hershey. That's his second goal of the series. The last one coming back on the 8th. So yeah, he's up to 2 points in the series as a defenseman. But just to round this up, it is the end of the first period. We have a tie game here in Game 7 between the Monsters and the Bears, 1-1. Cleveland has the edge on shots, 13-9. A little bit of a scoring recap, kind of just like at the end of game 6. We had two quick goals. We had Trey Fix-Wilansky on the power play, his third of the playoffs. Right now is officially unassisted. That came at 19:02. And 39 seconds later, Logan Day, again unassisted, his second of the playoffs. We have one of our fellow contributors at the Calder Times checking in, Jess Belmosto. Hi, Jess. Thanks for tuning in while she's doing some editing. So if you are a fan of the Calgary Wranglers or the Calgary Flames, she has a great podcast, The Locked On Flames, and she also helps cover the Calgary Wranglers for us. So thanks for checking in. And I do see a few questions in the comments, but we're just going to get some a little bit of a kind of knee-jerk reaction, and we'll kind of go from there. And then, but first, we do have to say goodbye to Jay because he's over in Europe, and it is coming up on 1 a.m. there. So we
Time
must say
zones
goodnight.
are bad and should be illegal. I need the Monsters to win because I fly out to California on Friday, and we'll be in the correct time zone for hockey. And I would like to watch the hockey that I care about. So, go Monsters. You guys have fun, and go Monsters again. All right. Peace,
Bye,
guys.
Jay. Thank you. Okay, so we're down to Andrew and I. Corey Swartz will hopefully be checking in. It depends on what kind of signal he gets there at the Giant Center and if he can somehow find a quiet spot. But we just have one quick questions here from Jameson again. He's asking, who's our favorite AHL and NHL teams respectively? I think my allegiance is pretty clear, but Andrew, we'll go with you first.
Sure. So I've been asked this question before concerning the AHL because for those who don't know me, I cover not just the Grand Rapids Griffins, but also the Chicago Wolves. And the Wolves were my first beat And I think that kind of holds a special, endearing place in my heart. Even though at the NHL level, I mean, I grew up in Detroit on the cracked steps of Joe Louis Arena. I was there for the pivotal Claude Lemieux beatdown day at a raucous 6 years old, screaming my head off, not even really fully understanding what was going on, just seeing gear and bodies flying everywhere. And, 6-year-old me just absolutely loving it. But I grew up through the years of the Red Wings dynasties, and that's where I really came to. It's hard not to love the sport when you're watching Hall of Famers up and down the lineup night in and night out. So I was very blessed for that, and Red Wings through and through at the NHL. I mean, love the Griffins for that connection, but having the Wolves as my first beat, getting to know a lot of the wonderful people that work in that organization, seeing a Calder Cup in the first real in-person season covering that team, which was awesome. That team was full of character, was full of talent. I loved every little bit of that. And it's been some rocky waves since then, but I'm the team I think has a bright future ahead of it now that they're back there with the Hurricanes, and it's fun covering a bit of a Central Division rivalry, and I my heart's always been in the Midwest, so I feel like it's appropriate for me.
So you could probably guess by how excited I got at the Cleveland goal. The Cleveland Monsters are my team. I became a fan of them whenever my my hometown loved Columbus Blue Jackets. I literally lived 20 minutes away from Nationwide Arena. But whenever they switched that affiliation over from the Springfield Falcons at the time, became an instant fan of the Cleveland Monsters, have just loved them ever since. But I will admit, I do have a bit of a soft spot for the Grand Rapids Griffins. Just great people up in that I'm super fun team to watch, and it doesn't hurt that Jonathan Berggren is on that team either.
I'm on the Chicago side of things. When Pyotr Kochekov was still on the team, it's when you're talking vibes, I don't think it gets any better than those two. And it's no thoughts, just hockey. And with a character like PK, especially in net, we all love goalies, right? But when you add a fiery personality on top of it, and he's just a fun guy. He loves to have fun. I mean, he has fun playing hockey, and Berggren's much the same way. Him taking over the team bus at one time and finding out that there were actually two horns to it is one of my favorite content pieces of all time out there. So I think that makes kind of covering this league really special, is kind of getting to know those personalities. And as they're still, I feel not old, but I have this image of Berggren in his rookie year coming to Grand Rapids, right? He's still got that innocent golden retriever puppy face, but I think he's grown so much. I mean, he just finished up his third season in North America. I still think of him as a puppy, but he's really a dog, And I'm not just saying that because he was a beast in the playoffs and he was an absolute dog, but I don't want to get this image in my head that he's grown up. To me, this is always going to be him. No matter, I don't care if he goes out and he's a Hall of Famer, whether it's in Detroit or St. Louis or somewhere else in the NHL. That's always going to be Jonathan Berggren to me. That's why I love covering this league.
So here's a stat for you. So Cleveland scored first here in Game 7. So if you're just tuning in, welcome. We are 1/3, that's me, of the Calder Times Calder's Calling podcast. And then Andrew over here is 1/2 of the AHL pre-show. Hopefully we'll be joined by Corey Swartz live from the Giant Center. If not this intermission, the second one. But the Cleveland Monsters and Hershey Bears are tied at 1. But here's a stat for you. So every game this series that Cleveland has scored first, they've won.
Vibes, putting it out there.
I'm
Vibes.
trying to get the vibes. We do have a Bears fan checking in. Got 3 bear emojis. And just as I say that, both of my dogs walk in the room. So we have a whole contingent here. So yeah. So we'll see if that trend continues with Cleveland scoring first. The first time they did that was back in Game 4, where they won 3-2 in regulation. Dunn, Ashawn, and Gaudet scoring for the Monsters in that game, with Frank and Garrett Rowe scoring for Hershey. Again, big news for the Bears. Ethan Frank not available today, but Pierre Dubé is back. The second game that they won, where they went up, where they scored first, was Game 6, the game that got us here. Owen Sillinger scoring at 17-14 of the first. That was at 3-2 overtime thriller, where Joe Snively scored at 19-10 of the third, then Brendan Gaunce at 19-27, and then Jake Christensen at 17-31. So Jameson, our Monsters fan here checking in. That's because Cleveland is the best, and we will win the Calder Cup next series because it's destiny. And just him saying that takes me back to the 2016 Lake Erie Monsters and Tony Brown's call of the dream was so real, it had to come true. Mr. Calder, welcome back to Cleveland. And
he had a great call on that Game 6 OT winner from Christensen. That was like chill-inducing, and I don't even really have a dog in the fight. And I was like that, and that really set the stage for tonight. I was really happy for that.
Did you see the behind-the-scenes footage of that one, where I think it was Mike Ostrowski, and he's one of the higher-ups in the Monsters organization, was there with his cell phone and has him and Jock Calendar. Yeah,
I just saw the big high five as he was giving the call. Like that's the kind of professionalism that I'm looking for in my broadcast.
I mean, one thing I will say about both the play-by-play broadcaster for Cleveland, Tony Brown, and the play-by-play broadcaster for Hershey, and Zach Fish, they are two of the greatest, in my mind, current broadcasters here in the American Hockey League. Both extremely giving of their time, incredibly nice people, and God, they just do such a good job at their job. Both fantastic broadcasters. But Andrew, do you want to spend maybe a couple minutes talking about the Western Conference Finals that are already decided, and was done so in a pretty decisive fashion?
I mean, I knew Coachella was fast. You know, you watch their games, and especially throughout the Pacific Division bracket, and you're like, wow, this team they're all over the place. They're really well structured. They're really well coached, and they're buzzing around, getting the pucks left and right. They're like, wow, this is really impressive. And then they do it to a team like Milwaukee. It was really a dominating show by the Firebirds. Now, I knew the Admirals were kind of in trouble heading into the series. Game 4 in Grand Rapids, we saw Yaroslav Askarov go down with an injury. Now, there's nothing to say against Troy Grosnick. I believe if you wanted a veteran in net, it doesn't get much better at this level than Troy Grosnick. But Milwaukee had done so well in the playoffs going back and forth. I mean, Askarov didn't start off great. They went to Grosnick. Grosnick got through the Texas series, had a bad start against Grand Rapids. They put Askarov in, and then he wins a couple in a row. Get hurt, they go back to Grosnick to close out the Griffins, but they just never had that I guess kind of option to change the momentum up and try and get the swing back at their end of the ice. by, okay, Grosnick's not that it was his fault, but Milwaukee had gone back and forth between the two of them throughout the whole season. And it just, the rhythm off, the team the Admirals just didn't look focused. Zach LaRue got kicked out of as many games as he had times scored in this series. Like, he's one of your best performers. You can't have that happening, especially, the game one was 2-1. There was a solid 8 minutes left, and he's getting the boot. I think it might have helped to maybe tie it up, and this is a different looking series there for the Admirals. But with it going up against a team like Coachella, you couldn't afford mistakes. You couldn't afford not to be focused. And I feel like Milwaukee kind of got in their own heads a little bit. And I know you got to play with that fiery passion, especially a guy like LaRue, who was just an absolute animal against the Griffins and the Stars. But Coachella not just shut him down, but they frustrated him into both figuratively and literally taking himself out of that series. And what else can be said about the Firebirds? 2 seasons, 2 trips to the finals. I've already said extremely well coached. Obviously, the Seattle organization likes what they're seeing down there as well, because we're going to be seeing Disco Dan coming up. But they got a good mix of, youthful contributors. They got, vets that are playing their roles well. I mean, I don't even want to say that Andrew Podorowski hasn't even reached Andrew Podorowski levels, but they don't need him playing the superhero role on that team. And that just gives them another level. It makes them so dangerous. It's absolutely ridiculous. And this really feels like a team that's on a mission. Like, they got overtime loss game 7 in the Cup. How do you not come back hungrier than ever? And here they are. So they're sitting there for some reason in the Eastern time zone. They could be going out back to the West Coast, but they're patiently waiting and watching this game to see kind of what their opponent they're going to be facing here. It's going to be fast. If Cleveland does make it past Hershey tonight and make it to the final, it's going to be fast. You guys you better be prepared for that, because they come in waves. They got speed on all 4 lines, and they're relentless.
So we do have another Monsters fan checking in. Captain Fox, love the profile picture. That little meerkat there. Go Monsters. So thanks to all 157 of you that are tuning in. We're so happy to have you. So the players are taking the ice. You are watching the Calder's Calling / AHL pre-show live watch party here on X / Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. Join the conversation, like it says down here in the banner. Leave a comment or tweet us at the Calder Times. So just real quick recap here, because Bigfoot Anon checking back in, go Cleveland, and he wants to know what's the score. So right now the score is 0-0 as we're getting ready to drop the puck on the second period. So Trey-Fix Wolanski scored at 19:02 of the first period on the power play. It looks like the assists, they keep changing around, but right now it looks like it's from Denton Matejchuk and David Juracek. And at 19:41, Logan Day, unfortunate play down front on Greaves, where Owen Sillinger ends up sending a player into his own goaltender. Logan Day from Alex Limoges and Henrik Rybinski. So they are lining up here. And we're getting ready to drop the puck on the second period. They're taking forever, and puck is down. Here we go. Won by the Hershey Bears. Now, this is a pivotal period because Cleveland has really struggled in the second with this long change. And Cleveland's taking control already here in the second, which is huge for them. But Hershey all series long has been hemming Cleveland in Hershey's offensive zone, really making it hard to get defenders out and switched. Just Yeah, really difficult. So we'll see how Cleveland does. For right now, it's a little bit back and forth, but we'll see how this plays out.
Yeah,
And
not a lot of possession for either side really on this one. They've been kind of looking for space. It's not really there. But
oh,
yeah.
here's something to watch. So Ivan Miroshnichenko just went down in pain. It took a little bit to get up, but he did skate the puck down and now is heading off the ice. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. And what is not going to be helping us is the score bug on AHL TV is still reading 0 minutes of the first. So
Don't you love it sometimes?
yeah. But impressive start here for the Monsters, considering how much they usually struggle against the Bears in the second. But again, it's been like, I would guess maybe a minute and a half.
Yeah, that feels about right. Eventually, they'll get the score bug going, right?
I'm just guessing.
It's all about vibes.
Okay, there we go. Okay, so it was a minute. It wasn't even a minute and a half. It felt longer because I'm a self-admitted Monsters fan, even though they are my beat. I love this kind of environment because I can be a little bit more biased and I can have a little bit of fun. Whereas, if I'm at live covering a game, it's very much head forward. Sometimes you can give a little fist bump. But I can't cheer like I did earlier, and I apologize for everyone wearing headphones whenever they.
Well, I feel like sometimes when you're on the beat, right? It's only natural human reaction. Like when in game 4, the Griffins were down 2-0, and then they score 4 goals in the third. Was I absolutely? I'm watching through. Great save there by Greaves. Cleveland can't get the puck out. Another good save with the toe.
Jack Greaves coming up big, and this is what I was talking about, where Hershey gets in, and then they are relentless on the puck. But here comes this fourth line of Cleveland. Don Whalen Pearson getting the puck in deep so they can get some people off. We have another Monsters fan checking in. Sandman is cool. Go Monsters. Yeah, Bears fans, I'd love to hear from you. How do you think your team's doing? Monsters fans, keep chiming in. We'd love to hear it. Any questions, or you want to cheer for someone, have a prediction for the game? Who's your favorite player that's playing on the ice right now? Comment on the video stream or tweet us at the Calder Times. So we have reached the first kind of stoppage in play here. 17-14 remaining in the second. We're getting a Hershey offensive zone face-off. Cleveland Hershey tied 1-1. Shots 14-12 in favor of Cleveland, and puck is down again.
Okay. Monsters win a battle there. Yeah, they've already iced the puck twice there. Cleveland has, so you can kind of see where those struggles with the long change already kind of, I don't want to say manifesting, but they're kind of rearing their ugly head. And that's, they haven't really given up any high. A couple good chances there on Greaves, but they're managing so far to keep the puck out. Just gotta find a way to keep it going the other way. I don't know about that one.
Yeah, the Monsters.
I don't know about that one.
So the Monsters headed to their first penalty kill of the night. Yeah, I'm not totally.
Can I get the replay on that one? I don't know.
That was, in my mind, a bit of a questionable.
He looked like he was going down already, and I'm not. Did the stick help it? Sure, but at either rate, it's a Hershey power play.
But it is a Hershey power play there. Brendan Gaunce at 3:18 called for hooking, and sorry if I see him a little distracted, but I have the call on my phone because I have the audio for this stream coming through these, and I have the big video here, so I have a weird setup. So
You got
if I'm
a
distracted,
lot
yeah.
going on over there.
I do, but it works, and that's
Mhm.
all that really matters.
Exactly.
Huge block there by Billy Sweezy to prevent a shooting lane. And again,
Oh.
nice block shot by Billy Sweezy. And Pierrick Dubé
scores.
scores on the power play. That is a lead for Hershey.
Can't give them those kinds of opportunities. I mean, say whatever about the call, but you can't. This is a dangerous power play unit, and a couple good block shots, they just couldn't get a hold of that puck. It gets up there to them at Dubé at the top of the key. He makes no mistake. Yeah, Greaves had no idea where that puck was. There's a billion people in front of him. No chance.
And it's not the crew that normally screens Jack Greaves. I have had some complaints about Stanislav Svozil and David Juracek, who have done a fine job of screening their own netminder throughout the series. Oh my God. Okay, hold on. This video I had up was the goal, and I thought it was the live stream, and I about died.
Oh no.
Oh no. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at this power play goal by the Hershey Bears.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you are going to see Billy Sweezy up front. Jack Greaves making some good saves, and then here's Dubé.
Mm-hmm.
Jet had no clue that was coming.
Yeah, couple of block shots, but again, the Monsters penalty killers are kind of scrambling here to kind of get in the shooting lanes. Couldn't really gather the puck up. Dubé's the one who does get it, and yeah, he's got space. Finds the narrowest of holes through all that traffic, and it's in the net.
All right, I'll be another second because I gotta sync this back up. There we go. 1434. We're good. So Sandman is cool, coming in with a boo, and Hershey sucks. But they were at the fourth game.
That's nice.
Was a Cleveland win. So yeah, that started this comeback. Yeah. But right now, the Monsters have to mount another comeback. 14-12 and counting in the second period. Hershey is up 2-1. They also have an advantage of shots, 15-14. The latest coming on the power play by Pierrick Dubé from Joe Snively and Hendricks LaPierre.
That's I'm gonna start a counter. That's now 3 icings for the Monsters here in the second period, and we are just over 6 minutes through. So yeah, hey, if you get it every give it an icing every couple minutes, and yeah, it'll be fine. It'll be fine.
Hershey on this in the second period on this long change for the defense, just all series long, and I hate the second period. I have learned to hate it this series, except for the game where Cleveland had 4 unanswered. That was a good game.
The second period's of friends then, but yeah, for the most part, it's tough for any team to kind of have to deal with that. But I mean, Hershey's got a long change too. It's not just Cleveland, so the Monsters just got to find a way to kind of take that into their advantage and keep it in the Bears zone. You can't be giving them clean entries. Can't make it too easy for them. You just got to find a way to keep the pressure on, make them have the tired legs, not just kind of flip the script a bit there.
Yep. But what I love about Cleveland, and we got some fans chiming in. Jameson, let's go Monsters. We got this. Sandman, Cleveland can do this. And, that is the mindset truly that this team has right now. So one thing that Cleveland head coach Trent Vogelhuber has really preached is, every game is its own unique game. The goal after every period is tied or better. Mm-hmm. And he always preaches in 6-minute increments. So whenever they go out to the game or go out for the period, it's okay, guys, let's focus on the first 6 minutes, everyone's first couple of shifts, and then they're going to focus on the next and then the next. So that way it's like they're not worried about the big picture. They're worried. I wouldn't say that they're worried. They're so focused on these small, achievable little bits.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, honestly,
you don't want to get ahead of yourself with the big picture, you know. It's when you dial it in on those little details, that's what builds up to. I mean, I saw a billion Griffins comebacks throughout the season, not just in the standings, but game by game and, you know, late third period rallies. And it's much the same. Maybe there's a little more talent over there in Cleveland. That's why y'all have made it this far. But it's that same mentality where, you know, you don't worry about the score. You're not, you know, throwing all your energy away at a big push and there's 10 minutes left and you're getting ahead of yourselves and you're rattled and you're freaking out. You keep it calm. You keep it simple, detail oriented, little bit, piece by piece, one shift, one step at a time. And eventually that builds and it builds and it builds. And when these guys have done it before and there's confidence and they know they can do it. And now after you've done it time and time again, it's like, oh, okay, Cleveland's down by 1. No biggie. We've been here before, like 30 times. So there's a lot of hockey left to play, and no one knows it better than these monsters.
I'm okay. Stephane Pateau had a nice shot, and it just rolled on him. Oh. But Cleveland putting together a little bit of a sequence here. Oh. That shot headed in towards Shepard, but went off of Alex Whalen's skate, and Jake Christensen really fighting to keep that puck in. But ultimately, okay. I thought they were going to call offsides, but it was played with a free hand. So we're going to reset, but that's just what the Monsters just did is proving what Andrew said about, okay, we're going to let's focus on the next shift. We're just going to build a little bit. And the Monsters get several good shots off. We're waiting for the score bug to update, but yeah, this is what the Monsters need to do. This is what they've been doing all playoffs long. It's the reason why they've been so successful. And I know this team isn't stressing about being down a goal in another elimination game because they've been here for the last 3 games and they've come out okay.
Exactly. Like I said, when you have that confidence that you've done this before, oh, see, there's the first Hershey icing. So see, now the script's kind of flipping over on the other side. And you don't see Cleveland panicking. You don't see them rattled. Oh, it's game 7. We're down. Big deal. They've done it before. And we'll see. We'll kind of see what magic they got in the bag here. The rest is the second half of this second period. I'm excited. I'm hearing dogs.
Yes. I have both of my dogs here. Jess. Oh, I ended up knocking the ball out of her mouth. I was going to try to get her up here, but accidentally had one of her favorite balls go rolling out of the room. And so, of course, she chased it. And then I have my old man here.
No, that's a Matthew.
Matthew.
That's a Matthew.
He's my old man. He's 12.
No, what a good boy.
He's a silly boy.
Uh-huh.
He sleeps all day. But he wanted to come say hi. He's a hockey fan. Literally, I have photos of him actually at my father-in-law's sitting there watching hockey games. So he just sits there and just stares at the TV. It's pretty funny.
We've seen Jazz.
Late hit on James Malatesta from Dylan McElrath.
Yep.
So Sandman is asking our names, and I did not realize that our names have disappeared. I'm not sure why our names disappeared, but hello, my name is Deana Weinheimer. I'm the owner of the Calder Times and one of the hosts of the Calder's Calling podcast.
And I'm Andrew Rinaldi. I am the beat writer of the Calder Times for the Grand Rapids Griffins and the Chicago Wolves actually have kind of matching bobbleheads to go for each of my beats here. But yeah, I specifically like entered my name. There it is. Okay, we got names now.
There we go. I'm so sorry. Thank you for pointing out that we don't have names. We're just two anonymous people screaming into the void.
At the end of the day, yes, that is what we are. But
and my husband on Twitter, with our picture of Matthew in younger times. I'll have to share this because I got a little bit of a break in the action.
Mm-hmm.
So here is Matthew in younger times. And if you look really close back there, you can see the hockey game going, but he's sitting in my father-in-law's favorite chair, and it's just he's vibing watching some hockey.
The position in which he's sitting, I can't get over. And I love his ears.
He's a good boy.
Little thing.
He's a good boy.
Yes.
So gotta love dogs watching hockey. Jasmine, my 2-year-old golden retriever, loves going to the Pucks and Paws game. Got a great picture of her. But checking back in on the game, 10:58 remaining in Game 7 of the American Hockey League's Eastern Conference Final between the Hershey Bears and Cleveland Monsters. Hershey is up on Cleveland 2-1. Yeah, so how about this? I'll change my background. And there's Jasmine at Pucks and Paws.
There she is. I love it.
Funny thing is, that's Hunter Shepard in net.
Oh,
that
is
was
it?
That was against the Hershey Bears. So
wow. I couldn't tell because he doesn't have the long flowing hair out of the back of it at that point. He must keep it short during the regular season, and then playoffs comes, and he grows the flow out, which I respect, but it's hard to distinguish when he doesn't have it.
I would love if Cleveland could get some shots up right now. This is where I start to enter my super anxious, even though I know the players and coaches are not phase.
Oh yeah. Well, of course, you're
Yelputia.
He is flying.
Backhander by
big save
by Brendan Gaunce, but tried to sneak at 5, but Hunter Shepard was there with his pads. But Cleveland again, they're starting to put a little bit of stuff together. Brendan Gaunce with another shot.
Couple of turnovers.
Oh, that hit Logan Day right in the skate. He is hopping. That had to have hurt.
Oh, yeah.
So he is one-footedly making his way back to the bench. And, Day, he's trying to skate it off. And I love Sandman's attitude. We good.
Yep.
Monsters got this. I mean, I have full faith in them because I've seen what David Juracek did in games 1 and 2. I saw what Brendan Gaunce did yesterday. I still love that super gutsy line that Trent Vogelhuber put out to end regulation, where he had Josh Dunn, Brendan Gaunce, and Trey Fix-Wolanski. Good night.
That's a line.
But we're going to definitely keep an eye on Logan Day here to see if it was just a bit of a stunner or if maybe something else may be going on with his foot there, because that did not look like it felt good. I'm going to see if I can't get a clip of that.
Yeah. Good. I mean, thankfully for his sake that the TV timeout had just now, so he's got some chance to kind of skate around and see how it feels. It's like, it kind of reminds me of me back in February when I crashed into the boards and I was like, I got some time to try and put some weight on this, and then I couldn't put any weight on my foot, and that was the idea that, like, hey, there's something wrong with you. Oh, and now 4 months later, and I'm still not back on the ice, but it's okay. The vibes are getting better.
All right, so let's take a look at this. Make sure I pull up the right thing here. Okay, so here comes the clip. Watch right over here. And up high, that looked like that might have been the ankle. But you can see him
I don't wanna think
immediately.
about getting hit in the ankle right now.
Yeah, that that definitely hit up higher on the leg. So like above the ankle, like right. So close. Owen Sillinger almost.
Oh. Okay, I can see. All right. I was for some reason I was a couple seconds behind there, but now I'm synced up. But see, that's what I'm saying. You know, when you're Cleveland, you know you're gonna get your chances. You know that these, there's so much hockey left to play that you can't panic, you can't get rattled. That you just gotta let the game come to you. Puck's free. Puck was still free.
And another super quick whistle there. Hershey just got away with one. Puck was coming out of Hunter Shepard's pads there. Cleveland was closing in, but getting the benefit of a quick whistle. But I just want to say hello and welcome to all 219 of you now. So excited. 220. Thank you to whoever just joined. Yeah, you are watching the Calder Times watch party of Game 7 of the American Hockey League's Calder Cup Eastern Conference Final. Again, Game 7 between the Hershey Bears and the Cleveland Monsters. If you hear a dog, it's because it's mine. She is sitting next to me. But my name's Deana Weinheimer. That is Andrew Rinaldi. So just a quick update. 8:26 and counting left in the second period. Hershey does have the lead over Cleveland 2-1. Yeah, so if you would like to join the conversation, you can just go ahead and comment on Facebook or YouTube. If you are on X/Twitter, whatever your preference is, comment us or tweet us at the Calder Times.
Do people actively call it X? I don't know if I've yet to meet people who have called it. It's still Twitter. I still up Twitter when I'm on the computer, and it still comes up. I know it says X. I still call it Twitter.
I know like 2 people that actively call it X.
Is one of them Elon Musk?
No. I've never met him.
Oh, we got a break here for Hershey. Big save, Greaves.
Huge save by Jack Greaves here. Matt Strome on a full breakaway, and he stymies the puck.
I think I'm ahead of you now. It's this streaming service. I'm trying to keep up. But yeah, that was.
Again, I'm just like, oh my
God. Gotta stay away from those if you're Cleveland. God, can't be giving them free looks on the power play and free breaks on the net. Can't be giving those up.
Sir, as my husband says, get back in the hangar. Do not leave your crease. Get back in the hangar. He's coming out playing the puck, and I know he's not doing it to the point that Hunter Shepard did that one game where he came all the way out, and that was
those get real sketchy. Those get real sketchy, but I love a goalie. Ooh, that was a rocket up high. I love a goalie that can come out and make it interesting with the puck, And sometimes, it's a gamble. Sometimes it comes out great. Sometimes you look really embarrassing when the puck's in your net and the goalie's sitting behind the net. So I've seen a lot of both with again, I'm going to name drop Pyotr Kochekov again. I've seen him turn the puck over and it end up in his own net again while he was behind the goal line. I've seen him score a goal, so it can happen either way. That's the gamble.
I'm just not having a good time right now because Brendan Gaunce with a couple of good shots, but right off of Hunter Shepard, and then you got Miro Shevchenko going down on Jet, and Stanislav Svozil ricochets it off of his blade, and then the puck's going everywhere, and people are going everywhere, and I'm just not having a good time. I'm still looking for for Logan Day. I have not seen him back after taking that shot.
Ooh.
So we're looking for number 26. I'm just straight up not having a good time. I'm having a good time without having a good time. This is when they really have to have the monsters have to have that super short-sighted mindset. There's Day. He is back on. Terrible change for the monsters. Luckily,
didn't completely bite them.
Alex Limoges could not accept the pass well, but Hershey really putting the surge on, and I hope you all are enjoying this. And yes, Sandman, yes. Sorry, I clicked the wrong one. He asked if Logan Day scored. Yes, he did score the very first goal. We're going to a media timeout, which... Oh, never mind. There is not a media timeout.
Okay. Keep game on.
False alarm. It was a dump in, so okay. I'm just going to listen to Sandman here. The Monsters have been down 3-0, then won 5-3. Yep. I gotta keep the faith, but my anxiety is not doing well. I've got my little fidget spinner thing.
Stress relief fidget spinner.
Yeah, I've got all my tools here. Alex Limoges coming back in.
Ooh.
And Jake Christensen and Denton Michachuk doing a great job to block these pucks.
Mm-hmm.
Because remember what I was saying early in the period about possible tripping call on the Monsters, but the refs keeping their whistles put away for that. Thank you.
Well, they figured they kind of got it. They owe him one off the last one, so
yeah.
I'll accept that. That's a good 50-50
Can we get a call for Jake Massey literally being Alex Whalen's coat right there?
I like the quick move going the other way. Oh, avoid the big hit.
Okay, come on, Roman Ashawn, 3-on-1, and no. Tyler Angle got the puck in deep, but ultimately not a turnover. Crazy puck, and Dylan McElrath just absolutely.
Yeah.
So Roman Ashawn gets called for tripping. Dylan McElrath absolutely mauled Jake Gaudette, and that does not get called.
On top of him there. That's I mean, I get it.
I'm going to distract myself with some questions about us. So Jameson, again, tuning in from Bowling Green, Ohio. So nearish my neck of the woods. I'm over in Ohio. Asking, when did the Calder Times start and what are our goals? So actually, I started the Calder Times back in July of 2023. And we actually launched the website in August of 2023. So it'll be just about a year coming up. And honestly, just my main goal is just to bring news, content, entertainment across the American Hockey League for free, no paywalls to the fans. You know, it's a vastly undercovered sport. Everyone that writes and podcasts and everything for the Calder Times just huge fan of the American Hockey League in general, super knowledgeable people. And yeah, so that's us in a quick nutshell. And then he's also saying this is the best and first time he's ever watched an AHL live stream. So thanks so much for tuning in. And then so we have a really, really good and fun time here. Andrew and I have known each other for a little bit. If any of you remember the Holy Grail GRAHL podcast, we were two of the co-hosts there when we both worked for Field Pass Hockey. But he does have the asterisk of it will be the best as long as the Monsters win. So huge penalty kill coming up for the Monsters. They're already 0 for 1, or I think 0 for 1 on the night. Yeah.
Yep.
So 232.
Got to keep Jets' sight lines clear. If Greaves can see the puck, I have a good feeling he's gonna stop it. But if he's put in positions like he was in that last PK where he's got a billion bodies in front of him and he can't see the puck, he's not. He's not. I don't care how good of a goalie you are. If you don't see the puck, you're probably not gonna stop it. So the Monsters just gotta make sure that they can, clear the sight lines for their goalie, and then when they get the shot blocks, they gotta hustle and get to it, get it up the boards, get it out of the zone.
Okay, so we got 2:16 and counting in the second. Cleveland on the penalty kill. Right now, we've got the likes of Alex Limoges out there. We've got, sorry, I'm looking up the numbers real quick. Joe Snively's out there, Henrik LaPierre, all just cycling down there. You've got
good stick.
You got Riley Sutter down low.
Mm-hmm.
They're just cycling, can't really find a good lane. And then I believe that was either Josh Dunn or Mikhail Pucha with a great stick to knock that puck out into center.
Yeah.
Okay, Hershey back in. We got Pierre Dubé, Mike Vecchione out there. Tyler Angle just all over Pierre Dubé, keeping him hemmed in along the boards and forces the turnover.
Mm-hmm.
So he tried to connect with Josh Dunn to get a 2-on-1, but Joe Snively was there with another good stick.
I kind of wish you would have either dumped it in and let him go and get after it, or just kind of skated it up there. I like what he was trying to do with that pass, but yeah, Snively was all over it. Sometimes you gotta go with the better. I wouldn't even say a better play, but it's just a smarter play, I guess.
Okay, we've got 48 seconds left in the second period. Some nice play along the wall here from Cleveland.
Oh, I'm again. I think I'm a little ahead of you, so you'll see that.
Oh my God! that Hardy Harmon Octel shot on Jack Greaves, that was as close to point blank as you could possibly get, but Jet well positioned right there. But man, that was almost the goal for Hardy Harmon Octel. So
wide open, big save from the big man. All right, we got about 20 seconds left here.
Now it's 20 seconds for me. So yeah, you are just a few seconds ahead. We're down to 15 seconds remaining in the second. Shots are even, 21-21. The score uneven, 2-1. We're going in the final seconds, and that was another opportunity for Hershey.
That's a little sketchy.
Okay, 40 minutes are complete. I feel like we have seen this all before. Hershey is up 2-1. Let's review the scoring here. In the first period, we had Trey Fix-Wolanski for the Cleveland Monsters on the power play, 1902, assist to Denton Matejchuk and David Juracek. in also in the first period. That's when Logan Day, someone asked if he had scored. Yes, Logan Day at equal strength with assists from Alex Limoges and Henrik Rubinski. And then here in the second period on the power play, Pierrick Dubé, his first game back from injury, with assists from Joe Snively and Hendrix LaPierre. So, okay, we have our first prediction of the night. Jameson, still not worried. Sweezy with the game-winning goal. He wants to book it. All right, y'all. Anyone co-signing this? Anybody want to give their predictions?
I'm not saying.
I would love this. I would absolutely love that because I love Billy Sweezy. I'm trying to remember all the stress from the last few games and every game where Cleveland came back with like less than a minute up to 90 seconds remaining, and they found a way to force overtime. For my sleep schedule, I prefer not to have overtime. But if it means Cleveland gets a win, maybe. I've had a few people ask like who we are cheering for. And I mean, I'm from Ohio. I've been a fan of the Cleveland Monsters since the affiliation with Columbus. I have a very big soft spot for them.
I think I think my vibes are with the Monsters right now. For better or for worse, it's as much as I love a Coachella revenge plot line, I am in the mood for some fresh blood. I'd love to see the comeback complete. I'd love to see it for, again, my Great Lakes brethren over there. It's a different lake, Lake Erie, but you know, it's the same vibe. It's the lake life. So I think I'm all in on the Monsters here. I got my air conditioner on right now, and it felt great coming in, but now my feet are cold because the vent comes in right here. So I'm gonna switch that out real quick. I'll be right back.
All right. So we got another prediction. Sandman, thanks so much for chiming in. He wants Owen Sillinger. Now, Owen Sillinger, love him. Great player. Was actually really instrumental in Game 6. He got that very first goal to get Cleveland rolling there in Game 6. Also saying, not stressing at all. We've got this. And the motto of this playoff, fear the depths.
I think it would be a great redemption arc for Owen Sillinger if he got the game winner after he bowled over Jack Greaves like a bowling pin.
I'm channeling David Juracek from Game 1, where he had a terrible first period when it came to penalties. And then he came back and scored the tying goal to send that to overtime with 20 seconds left. So I'm channeling this. I no offense to any Hershey fans because this is the series of the playoffs. No offense to the Coachella Valley Firebirds, but I would love to see Cleveland move on, but I don't think any series is going to compare to what has happened here. This massive comeback, Hershey keeping it close, and now's the time to breathe.
Yeah, Coachella hasn't had any, I wouldn't say they haven't had any adversity, but there hasn't been like any late game dramatics. They've cleared off their series pretty handily, I would say. So they haven't had a whole lot of drama over on their side of the bracket. I'm a little bit biased to the Griffins in Rockford, but that was because it was basically the Jonathan Berggren show, and it was a bit of a different vibe. But the hottest team in the land up at 3-0 now fighting for their playoff lives and 20 minutes of action coming up ahead of us. I mean, it's you can't really ask for anything more than that. So there's certainly no series that I've found that has come really close to this one.
So I had to switch my background photo out because from the time I switched it to my sweet, adorable Jasmine, it wasn't good for the monsters. And Hershey scored. I'm not superstitious. I'm just a little stitious. So I'm switching it back to my trusty Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse picture from my seat on press row and try to bring the good vibes back. Jameson chiming back in. Ohio is a great place to live, especially when it doesn't snow too much. Yeah, like this last winter, it was great. Cavaliers came back down 3-1 in 2016. I remember that. The same year, the Lake Erie Monsters won it all. We are doing it again. I always hold my pride on the fact that the Monsters did it first. They got the city the championship before the Cavs did. Sandman saying, I'm going to put my Monsters jersey on. Good idea. I wish I had one.
I want to know who it is. So whenever Sandman is either done or back in the space, I need answers is basically what I'm saying. Numbers, name, all of it.
So Sandman, do you have, first of all, I need to know which jersey it is. Is it the new black and blue hockey jerseys? Is it the old wine and gold ones? Is it something different? And also, is it blank?
Throwback? That would be.
Oh, if it was a Cleveland, that would be awesome. But yes, Sandman, we need to know what kind of jersey you have. And if it's blank or if you have a name and number. Everyone else on here, if you have a jersey for your team, for Hershey, for Cleveland that you're wearing right now, share it in the comments. Join the conversation. You can comment right here on YouTube and Facebook. And then you can also check us out on Twitter. We've got 247 of you in here. I'd love to hear from more of you. I'm having a great time talking with Jameson Hardy, and Sandman is cool. We earlier were talking to apparently Bigfoot and a fox, and we had Dennis Coer checking in, John E. from the Hershey area. Yeah, check it out. Jameson, 100% agree. Wanted that Monsters Eclipse jersey, but it sold out in like a day. It's like from the time I saw it until the time I was like, okay, now I can actually sit down and place an order. Gone. Totally gone. How dare they?
They knew that there was going to be a lot of requests, right? And they limited supply. I mean, I get it. Limited supply, limited edition, all that. But yeah, I don't know.
Oh, Sandman with the throwback. It's one of the red jerseys with the original Monsters logos.
So that's like eerie. Right?
So are we talking like the Colorado Avalanche era?
Ooh.
Or are we talking Columbus affiliation?
Is it a Cal Pickard jersey? That would be awesome.
From the 2016 Calder Cup playoffs. I don't know if you're a man or woman. My man, my girl, my Sandman. Awesome choice. Awesome choice. But quick recap here for those joining. Thank you so much. We are two of quite a team at the Calder Times. If you're enjoying our live stream, I want to check out some written coverage. You can check us out at the Calder, CALDER Times.com. You can follow us on social media. We are the Calder Times everywhere. We're on Instagram. We're on Facebook. We're on Twitter. So check us out. Again, please join us in the comments. Oh, Sandman is cool is a young one. I'm feeling so old right now. I won't say your age publicly because I don't feel comfortable with that, but no, he's a young one.
that's a lifelong Cleveland Monsters fan, right?
Yes, from the 2016 Calder Cup playoffs. Like
Mm-hmm.
Tip of the hat to that. Thank you so much for joining us. Oh no. Jameson just replied, I'm only 6. I'm sorry. I'm glad you clarified that you were just joking. Oh no. Oh no. But yeah, Sandman, Jameson, and the other 250 of you joining. Thank you so much. We really appreciate you watching our live watch party. So the Zambonis have just finished up clearing up the ice.
Mm-hmm.
So end of the second period, game 7. And
Where's the heart rate right now? How's the blood pressure doing?
I don't have my Fitbit on, so I can't tell you. I'm okay right now. I keep hitting my if any of you are on TikTok and see the existential crisis duck, maybe I should turn his light off. The little existential crisis duck. He's a lamp. And yeah, so I've been hitting him and I'm okay. But quick recap, the Hershey Bears are leading the Cleveland Monsters 2-1 at the end of the second period. Hershey also has a 1-shot advantage on goals or on shots, 22-21. Quick recap in scoring. So Trey Fix-Wilansky scored at 19:02 of the first period on the power play. Assists going to Denton Matejchuk and David Juracek. At 19:41 of the first, Logan Day scored at even strength with Alex Limoges and Henrik Rubinski on the assists. Then on the second period, Pierrick Dubé on the power play. Amazing goal there. Assist going to Joe Snively. That's his 10th of the playoff. And Hendrix Lapierre, 11th. Again, on the power play. It's been a little bit of a quiet night in the penalty front, but Cleveland taking 2 penalties in the second, and it's something they have to avoid here in the third period.
Mm-hmm. Got to keep the feet moving no matter what it takes. And I hope they got the smelling salts in there in the locker room and they're getting fired up here in the third period because they're going to need it. Hershey's going to, I feel like after the last 3 games, you've seen the kind of missed opportunities that the Bears have had. They're going to want to lock this one down and take this one home. So you gotta match that intensity. You got to match that speed. 20 minutes for the season. I mean, maybe more.
Well, one thing is, I don't know many teams who could come into a game 7 of the conference finals behind by a goal and probably not feeling stressed about it at all.
Mm-hmm.
Because Cleveland has come back and more than once. We've seen it 3 times in the Giant Center where Cleveland has come back at the very end of the period to force overtime. Game 6, they won in overtime. In games 1 and 2, like we could be talking about a completely different series because in overtime in games 1 and 2, it was so close. It was just bounce of the puck goes the other team's way, and there we are. Yeah, we're going to go through a few more comments before the players and the refs come back out for the super. I can't understate how important this third period is. But Jameson, thanks for doing what you guys do. You're doing a good job. Thank you so much. I truly do appreciate that. He says he's going to keep an eye out for our streams. Everyone make sure to hit the bell so you can be notified when the Calder Times goes live or post videos. We post about 2 videos a week. Right now, while we're in season, we have the Calder's Calling podcast that drops every Wednesday morning. And then we have the AHL pre-show that Andrew here hosts. That goes up usually on Fridays.
Right. Yeah, for the most part, unless there's some kind of Thursday-based emergency, Friday afternoons is when it drops. We try to give our fans kind of a look into the weekend going up. We've changed it up a bit for the playoffs, but we're still kind of keeping the same vibes.
Yep. Sandman saying that he's a subscriber, that he also plays hockey. So we love having a hockey player in here. I hope you had a great season and best of luck in the next season. Real Mayo 99 with the New York Rangers profile picture there saying, we got it. So I have to, you mentioned earlier in the comments, Fox 43. So I'm not sure who you're cheering for. Maybe Hershey, maybe Cleveland. Let us know. I need to know, who are you cheering for? What's your prediction? Who's going to be the game winner? And Sandman still remaining so confident that lifelong Monsters fan, we've got this, Monsters. But the lights are down.
Oh boy, it's getting.
The refs are on. Here's where it gets.
Where's that blood pressure at now?
Blood pressure, okay. Heart rate spiking just a little bit. I'm gonna break out my little fidget toy here. Real Mayo 99. Okay, Jameson and Sandman, we got some opposition here. Let's go Bears. I was wondering when you said Fox 43. If you were out in the Hershey area, and Sandman says boo. I love the interaction here, everybody. Keep it going. It helps us out a bit. I'm so sorry that we weren't able to get from Corey here. He is chiming in on our private Discord here, is that he can't find a quiet spot in the Giant Center. It's, as he says, it's a hot hopping mess in the Giant Center. And those vuvuzelas, those horns that everyone's been blowing all series long, he says that they're blowing them in the hallways, so of course doesn't want to subject us to that. But he is saying that from his point of view, so Corey Swartz is our Hershey Bears expert, and he is there at the Giant Center, of course, but he's saying that the Bears can't sit on this lead and expect it to stand up. It's going to be a war in the third period. They'll need to both add to this and have some exceptional defending. Corey goes on to say that he's been very impressed by Chase Prisky's play so far in this game. He's had a great night so far, both with passing and with defense. All right. Well, the players are lining up.
Oh yeah. I don't want to understate it, but this is a big one here. This is a big period.
Okay, here's a good tension breaker from Real Mayo 99. Hershey has more cups than Reese's. And with that, the puck is down on the third period, and already 6 seconds into this, Stefan Matteau with a good shot on the third. And I love this from Sob Fo. Howdy, I work with the Coachella Valley Firebirds. This is the only way I can experience this game right now. So Thanks for the service. The outcome of this game determines their work schedule for the next 2 weeks. Sob Fo, thank you so much, as Stefan Matteau with another great shot there. We are so happy to be providing this service for you. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you have any questions, if you have predictions, hit us up in the comments, just like Real Mayo 99, Sob, Sandman, everybody that has timed in so far. We got 260 of you in here. Keep up with the conversation.
And tell Foxy that we miss him in Chicago.
Yeah. Okay. Sob, if you heard that Andrew used to cover he does cover the Chicago Wolves. In our former podcast, the Holy Grail, Andrew Podorowski was a two-time guest, and yeah, fantastic player. We miss him. Please tell him we said hello. Okay, so we got a break in the action here. 18:44 remaining in the third period. Cleveland with an edge on shots, 23-22. The last shot actually goes to Dylan McElrath of the Hershey Bears. It was saved by Jet Greaves, so we are setting up for a Hershey offensive zone face-off, and immediately,
I'm sorry.
yeah, like an immediate shot on Jet Greaves there. So.
Yeah, I feel like this is playing right into the Monsters game because this is where they thrive, right? You know, when the chips are kind of stacked against them, but how many times have they said never say die? That's been their mentality, and it's just been guts and heart the entire way. And this is right where you're looking for right here.
Come on. Okay. Yeah, it's 2-1 Hershey. Cleveland putting some pressure in here.
Pushing.
That one was going in, but it changed. It looked like that shot was going in on Josh Dunn, and it just changed direction before he got to him. So could not get the chip in. And sorry. A lot was happening. Real Mayo 99. Good luck, y'all. Thanks for letting me stop by. Thank you for stopping by, Real Mayo.
Absolutely.
Real great chatting to you.
Anytime.
Have a good night. All right, got those vuvuzelas again. I'm going to be hearing them all throughout the night.
Did you watch that World Cup in, I believe it was South Africa, where it was nonstop vuvuzelas for 90 minutes of gameplay at least? It was
yes. Penalty for Hershey. Hendrix LaPierre headed to the box for tripping at 3:10. Huge.
Yeah. Here's the opportunity. I'm saying Cleveland they wait for that window, and then so here, I mean, already one power play goal here. You saw Hershey kind of be a little aggressive on the last penalty kill. So you gotta wonder, are they gonna keep it? Are they gonna keep it tight,
Okay.
or
remember that gutsy line that I was talking about?
Oh yeah.
We got it here right now. Matejchuk, Juracek, Trey Fix-Wolanski, Josh Dunn, and Brendan Gaunce on the power play. We have Sutter. We've got for Hershey, Sutter, McElrath. I'm trying to see the other numbers.
45, I believe.
Matt Strome and Hardy Hummin Octow out on the kill. So really big clearing there from the Bears, allowing them to get some fresh legs out there. One of the first ones on the scene is Henrik Rabinski, who has had a really good last couple of games.
Mm-hmm. There's space there. Again, I mean, I know you're down a man, but Hershey's they're leaving space for Cleveland to kind of move into some really high danger areas. Do get the puck out though, and it's back down in the Cleveland zone.
56 seconds remaining on the power play. Hershey is leading 2-1. So we've got a new line on for Hershey: Mateau, Putia, Cylinder, and another clear by
really good penalty kill
Hershey.
From Hershey.
Amazing penalty kill.
Mm-hmm.
And the vuvuzelas.
One good chance from Fix, but otherwise, yeah, Cleveland hasn't really been able to set up. There's a chance, though. Ooh.
Okay, I'm going to clip that. So I will be back in just a second. But Hunter Shepard, right space at the right time.
Oh, yeah. He's got a tendency to do that. Who was that for the Monsters? That
had the shot.
Malatesta. That was Malatesta.
Yeah, James Malatesta.
Mm-hmm.
Sandman still isn't stressed, but probably it's because he's been playing hockey since he was 3. So
He knows a thing or two about performing in high pressure situations. So I'm going to defer to his opinion.
yes.
All right, we got about 15 seconds left here on the power play for Cleveland. They're going to have another chance to go in, maybe get a shot in on Shepard. Looks like Hershey shut that down. That should just about do it for this power play.
Yep.
So,
And power play is over for Cleveland. Let's take a look at this really great shot by James Malatesta, number 11 for the Cleveland Monsters on Hunter Shepard. Just right place, right time. Hunter Shepard just heck of a save.
Great position.
I mean, the puck got, really good pass from Mikhail Putia over to James Malatesta, but unfortunately could not sink it in. But Hardy Hamanoktel, again, great defensive play there.
And you kind of see like the aggressiveness again of the Hershey penalty killers there, where they don't give the pass a lot of options. He manages to get it through, and there's space there for Malatesta because of that aggressiveness. So it burned him once. It didn't burn him that time, though.
I just hope that Hunter Shepard can force himself to blink. And Josh Dunn falls down.
Goalies don't blink.
Owen Sillinger fell down, got a bit of a Bronx cheer from the fans in the.
I'm pretty confident that Hunter Shepard sleeps with his eyes open.
So it's getting so this is the game that Hershey or Cleveland cannot play right now. We're starting to see some really heavy hits, especially from Joe Snively here. He just absolutely freight trained Jake Christensen, which Christensen is a very emotional player. And that's one thing that Cleveland's been pretty good at this series, that whenever and they're still going at it on the ice. But now it's Jake Christensen with Matt Strome and Dylan McElrath. They're just yelling at each other down on the ice. But up until just now, Cleveland has done a great job at not engaging in the mental game. They're just Hershey tries to start stumping, they smile and move on. So this is one thing that they will have to rein in a bit. It's just don't let them get into your heads. There's plenty of hockey to play. They're down 2-1. So it's not like it's more than that. With, again, 13:30 in regulation. This game is beyond winnable for both teams.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, 13:30 to play, 2-1 game. Anything can happen. They've been getting some good pressure, though, on Shepard. And part of it is, the power play helps in putting the shots on. But even they've been managing to carry that momentum even after that power play. So you just got to keep that ball rolling, and eventually, something's going to open up. That's just been the mantra of this team for the entire playoffs, the entire season, really. As you just got to keep being aggressive, get after it. Something will open up.
So my husband chiming in on Twitter, reminding people, or I guess letting people know that if you have a hatred for the vuvuzelas like I do, to search the term Blendtec, BLEND as in dog, T as in towel, EC vuvuzela, where this guy literally blends items in his Blendtec blender.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. And Dylan McElrath, again, just absolutely
That's what he does.
It is. And I don't like it, but apparently Matthew, my older dog, heard me getting stressed because he just came in to check on me. He's my 12-year-old Cocker Spaniel, but he still checks on me. He's a sweet boy.
Emotional support spaniel.
He is. He's a good boy.
Mm-hmm.
All right, 12:58
Yeah.
and counting.
Cleveland kind of reorganizing in their own zone. Oh, that's
Oh, huge turnover.
Oh.
Big save on Greaves. That's the kind of goaltender that Greaves has been whenever there's a big mistake out on the ice, where 99 times out of 100, he's going to bail you out.
That was a big mistake too. So suppose he owes, I think he owes Jet a nice little, maybe a steak for that one.
To let Jimmy Huntington get out like that?
Yeah. Serving a pizza right up to him. Maybe, I mean, maybe he gets a pizza for him. I don't know. We'll see. But there's certainly some kind of deliciousness owed to his goaltender after that one.
Or as my co-host on the Calder's Calling podcast, Jay Forster, who constantly gives goaltenders permission to chase their their skaters around with hammers after the game.
Hammers, maybe sharp bladed objects that are on your feet. Anything will do.
I prefer the taking the slide or the slipper around and just Brendan Gaunt's putting up a heck of a shift.
Hemming Hershey in here. Then the Bears have been kind of looking sloppy in their own end. Oh, I feel like Christensen didn't miss by much on that one.
He did not.
Oh, that was close. And Hershey knows. I think they're kind of. I think they're kind of circling the wagons here. They're not giving. I'm sorry, Cleveland circling the wagons here. They're not giving the Bears time to get full changes in. They're getting, when the puck's out, they're getting it right back in the Bears zone, but. Still 11:23 left to play, and it's 2-1 Bears lead here in Game 7.
Why do I feel like Dylan McElrath is out there for every other shift right now?
He probably is. Oh,
Monsters, please do a good thing.
Do the thing. Do the thing.
Jakub Zaboral, that would be a heck of a story.
Oh yeah, it would. Okay, nice puck protection going on here. And then there was, I don't know what that pass was, but I liked at first what was going on there. Oh.
Hershey fans calling for a penalty there on, I believe that was Jakub Zaboral that pinned very aggressively pinned Joe Snively against the boards there.
Yeah.
And things are getting a little sloppy here for Hershey, but they finally get back into their offensive zone.
Ooh.
Really odd bounce there.
Yeah, that was. I was trying to follow the puck and it just disappeared on me.
The more time goes down, the more nervous I'm getting because I really want this for Cleveland.
They're just hounding the puck right now, though, and they're getting it off those Hershey sticks, and they're finding ways to continue to create chaos, turnovers, and extended zone possession time. They just haven't been able to solve Hunter Shepard other than the early power play goal on this one.
Huge wraparound opportunity for that fourth line with Josh Dunn coming around, but unfortunately, it looks like it bounced off of Alex Whalen's skate there.
Mm-hmm.
But Cleveland coming back in for another rush into the offensive zone. Long distance shot there. I couldn't tell who that was for Cleveland, but it was James Malatesta.
Yeah. You had a couple of those. The pace is starting to pick up. You can tell the intensity is picking up. These guys are finishing their checks hard. And you're seeing there's a lot of back and forth going. I don't know if that's how Cleveland wants this game to go or what, but
Logan Day almost with a second, and we have Sandman getting a little nervous. Him and Jameson have been my two steady people in here. I can't let you guys get nervous on me, but
right.
For all.
Someone's got to hold Deana in the seatbelt in this one.
I'm for all 277. The audience keeps growing. Thank you so much for being here with us. I hope you're enjoying my slow descent into, maybe not so slow descent into madness.
If we have a little bit more, we can shut down the pass at Thermopylae and we'll be able to hold the line. It'll be great.
So
300 reference for anyone who didn't catch it.
I did not catch it. I haven't seen
Or
it.
history, like a real history nerd reference. Either way, it was really obscure. I could tell you didn't get it. I'm sorry. Vibe check. Nerves. I guess.
Need things to go Cleveland's way. There have been so many times where Cleveland could have tied this up, and it's just
Oh, I think they're saying
maybe
there would have been a delay game real easy.
But it just played into the Bears bench. Okay.
Oh man, Waylon, I didn't realize how tight that wraparound. Who was that who had his stick tied up, man? Ooh.
That was,
I believe it was Hamanaktel.
Yeah. Hardy Hamanaktel. Just gamer.
What a name.
Okay.
Namer for a gamer.
We're going to take a deep breath.
Yes, we are.
Our moment of Zen.
Yoga vibes.
Breathe, everybody. All 279 of us. That's whether you're Monsters fans, Cleveland fans, fans of hockey, or wondering how the heck you got here. Let's breathe in, breathe out. Okay, with 7:21 remaining in the third period of Game 7 of the American Hockey League's Eastern Conference Final between the Cleveland Monsters and the Hershey Bears at the Giant Center in Hershey, Pennsylvania. It is 2-1. Yes, Sandman, in and out. Hershey is up 2-1. And we're waiting for Cleveland to hopefully get at least one more goal here, tie this game back up. I'm praying that it happens well before the last minute because I do not need that kind of stress in my life. But this is literally do or die. But the nice thing is it's another long delay waiting on this puck drop here. We've had a few of those in this game, but
is it like score clock issue or
I don't know. Okay. Puck is down and we're gonna do this again. So Josh Dunn getting kicked out of the face-off dot and Alex Whalen coming in to take it. See if he can win this. And Alex Whalen wins it, gets it back to Stanislav Svozil, gets a shot in on net, and so it was a sneaky little tip by Alex Whalen, but it went just off the Hunter Shepard's left. So bad turnover there by David Juracek, but Justin Pearson got it, but his bucket popped off, so he's got to go.
Mm-hmm.
Off the ice, that means. I'm not saying that he literally has to go, as in I'm upset with him. He's like the last
leaving the rink.
He's the last player I'd be like, no, this guy's got to go. No, Justin Pearson, been great. We're down to 6:38. Hershey up 2-1. I need one of my emotional support dogs in here. They both said I'm out.
Yeah, they're chilling right now.
I bet anybody that my 12-year-old dog is asleep somewhere.
12-year-old spaniel. Oh yeah, they love their naps.
So we have someone chiming in saying that the Monsters on the way home. But Sandman's still saying, come on, Monsters.
No. Anyone's game right now.
It is. It's Can the Monsters' magic continue, or do the Bears get the final bite on these Monsters and send them home?
Ooh.
I'm running out of words.
There you go. Another turnover created though by the Monsters. I'm telling you, they're being just hounds on the puck.
Owen Sillinger really just getting a lot of good opportunities.
Oh, Shake's got to hold that line there.
Yeah, that's one thing that this is only Jake Christensen's second game back from a long-term injury. And
Score!
They score! They score! Cleveland scores! Trey Wolanski!
Play again. Tie.
Oh wait, no. That was James Malatesta. Malatesta. I thought it was Fixie.
Oh, I saw Fixie celebrating on the feed. I thought that was him.
Jameson, you're right. They gotta tie it up, and they did. James Malatesta with a huge goal.
Wow. And again, a hound on the puck. He battles through the check and the D-man. Who was that? Logan Day can't collect it, can't get it clean, and ends up on Malatesta's stick. Turns and fires. I mean, that's really the name of the game in the playoffs. Just putting the puck on net. It beats Shepherd. We are tied up with 5:40 to go here in regulation.
But that is Cleveland's second line that features James Malatesta and Trey Fix-Wolanski. That is a line that they have needed to get going pretty much the entire playoffs. James Malatesta, this is his first. He came in after the for the Syracuse series. He was out for the Belleville series. Huge. And when they needed this line the most is when they're producing. They are your two goal scorers here. Let's take a look at this goal. Just fantastic play. So we'll let this reset. Enjoy the celebration here. You got Matejchuk. You got Owen Sillinger coming in. Life is good.
Oh, yeah.
So, all right. So up to the rafters. Now let's take a look at this goal. Okay.
Again,
just turn around and snipe it.
Oh, yeah.
That looked very reminiscent of the Jake Christensen goal that won Game 6. Just turn around and flip it on net because you never know what's going to happen.
Exactly. And, yeah, from that spot on the ice, Day was right there. I think he had the shot block, but he just it bounced in front of him. He couldn't collect it. And Malatesta, again, hounds on the puck, keeping the legs moving, keeping the feet going. He's the one who's able to pick it up, turn around, fire it, beats Shepherd on the short side, and it's here we go. I don't want to say the next goal is going to win it, but it kind of got the feeling that the next goal is going to win it.
I'm just thankful that James Malatesta put. You know what? No. I'm not. No. Scratch that thought. Scratch that shot.
Lady is just ramping up like even more.
I'm not putting any of this out into the universe. So right now, we will just say hello, all 284 viewers. Thank you all so much for being here. We are the Calder Times. My name's Deana Weinheimer. I'm one of the hosts of the Calder's Calling podcast. That's my friend, Andrew Rinaldi. He's one of the hosts of the AHL pre-show, all on the Calder Times network. We're watching the closing minutes of regulation of Game 7 of the American Hockey League's Eastern Conference Finals, where the Cleveland Monsters just tied it up 2-2 with the Hershey Bears. Andrew, how you feeling?
Puck hounds, the Monsters got the ooh. They're getting after the puck again in Hershey's defensive zone. I have a feeling that Cleveland's not going to settle for overtime here in this one, but I feel like Shepherd's kind of gotten caught, standing a little too tall on his skates, and the puck kind of beats him low. And I don't know who shot that puck from that tight angle there from Cleveland, but that could have been really dangerous there for the Bears. Luckily, Shepherd was able to just kind of knock that one away with his stick.
It,
3:09 to go, though. Whew.
it was that fourth line again for Cleveland. Josh Dunn.
Is it
Justin
really their
Pearson, Alex
fourth line
Wheeler.
at this point with the way that they've been playing and producing here? I mean, I guess by ice time, maybe technically, but
Yeah.
I don't even know if you can call them a fourth line. They've been maybe the X factor there for the Monsters in this playoff.
Yes. They've been the top scoring line. It's only, first of all, I'll just let y'all read that. Jameson with the chirp there, but
He's like a good chirp.
that fourth line has truly redefined what depth means.
Mm-hmm.
They have been, and that's just one thing that head coach Trent Vogelhuber has been doing the entire playoffs, is rolling all four lines pretty much equally. My husband's laughing at something. I don't know what it is. I just hear him laughing from the other room.
Like I said, if I had my way and if I was there in Columbus, Gary and I would just be coming back from the bar right now, just to kind of. And the vibes would be immaculate, and it would carry the team over the top. But I digress. We're here instead.
It's all good. Yeah. There's actually a watch party here in Columbus, down at the hockey bar in the Arena District. They're actually streaming the game right now, so that's huge. Like, there's several watch parties up in Cleveland, but to get your NHL affiliate city in on it and have to have a watch party there too is pretty cool. But the biggest thing is Cleveland sticking to their identity. They started really putting the pressure on the Bears. The Bears cracked just a little bit and just enough. So the biggest thing going out here is how hard can each team. James Malatesta's like doing circles around the Bears right
he
now.
was definitely to the left of the Hershey winger when that puck was dropped. And
the
refs were going to blow it dead, and they kind of just let it go.
I don't necessarily know how legal that was. Okay, Jimmy Huntington with a huge shot beat Greaves, but luckily went off to Greaves' right.
Yeah, that was a little shaky.
And beautiful glove save for Jet Greaves on Logan.
He looks as calm as anyone on in that net right now.
Who?
Greaves.
Oh yeah.
Just that calm little like snag, like, yep, okay, I'll take that. I mean, granted, I don't know who Hershey's forward there, but instead of staying in front of the net, who's that, Limoges? He decided to go off to the side, and I mean, that's a bold strategy, Cotton, because then Jetson he sees. What did I say? If he can see the puck, he's gonna stop it. He just like, yep.
So.
All right, we got ourselves about 2:38. Cleveland gets the puck in the defensive zone, and they're transitioning to attack.
So I was you saw me kind of pushing my headphone in so I could hear, to tell you how kind of quiet it is at the Giant Center right now. So Cleveland's got a good contingent of, huge.
Break.
Come on, Brendan Gaunce on a... Oh my gosh, Brendan Gaunce on a huge breakaway. Puck just barely. He was on a huge breakaway, got caught up with by Dylan McElrath, who kind of knocked him off of his feet. If you would have got
that on the backhand, could you imagine?
I'd be running around this room right now. Anyway,
what a play.
After that huge Jet Greaves goal or save that we were just talking about, to tell you how quiet it got in the Giant Center, there's a pretty nice contingent of Cleveland Monsters fans in Hershey. A lot of them are right behind the Monsters bench, and you could hear them chanting "Jet, Jet, Jet, Jet" all the way up on Tony Brown's and Jock Callender's microphones from up in the top of the arena.
That's
So,
impressive. The Cleveland's had some good traveling fans.
several good more opportunities by the
Whoa.
Monsters. Hershey
God,
looking a
Hershey's just,
little.
this has not been their period. They can't get the puck out cleanly, and
They're looking a little shell shocked right now.
yep.
So Brad Thiessen checking in on the Monsters feed. He's actually on a headset down between the benches. And he said that right now, the Hershey Bears, their bench are all just looking at each other. He said, if I could read their faces, they're saying, again?
Yeah, I feel like this team's really been rattled here in this third period. I mean, Cleveland's all over them on the forecheck. They're creating turnovers. They're creating chaos. I mean, look at this. And now Whalen gets to the puck and they go to work.
A minute 24 and counting remaining. Hershey just trying to dig this puck away. Hershey knocks it out into the neutral zone. The puck goes over the glass.
Minute 12 to go. How we feeling? How we feeling? We lose?
I'm good. We're good. Let's go. Yes, Sandman, I love how you think. We just have to stay humble. Yes. I mean, honestly, I'm here with, if you count Andrew, 300 of you just having a good time with this. I love this sport. I love the American Hockey League, and the storyline around this is great. 1 minute remaining in regulation. Jack Reese behind the goal crease. No, get in net, young man.
Don't do that.
No, the goalies need to stay in their crease right now. Turnover for Cleveland and immediately gets it back off a Hershey's stick. Major play by James Malatesta there.
I don't know. Shepard doesn't know where that puck's at.
No, so
he's not looking confident, I will say.
James Malatesta comes flying in on Logan Day, gets the shot off.
The net. It was on that's where it landed.
Yeah, so Logan Day did a real nice job catching up to James Malatesta, gets his stick down on it, which deflects the puck kind of up a little bit, hits his shoulder, rolls back with enough momentum to land on top of the net and not in. 25 seconds and counting, tie game. Cleveland still with a lot of momentum in here.
Still in the Hershey zone. 15 seconds to go.
All right, we got a little breakout here by Hershey.
10 seconds left.
They better not. Okay, David Yurichek for Cleveland.
I think we're heading to overtime in Game 7. Oh, why not? Let's work a little OT. What did I tell you?
4 games in Hershey.
All going overtime.
All in overtime. I have been live streaming. It is currently 9:39 p.m. Eastern time. I have been here on air since 6:45 on the dot with 0 breaks. Andrew, I'm going to have you talk for a few minutes. I need to just have a quick drink of water.
Yeah, no, you go. This is the self-care hour right now. Anyway, that period was just all monsters to me as far as I'm concerned. At least the second half of that period. The wheels were really moving there for the Monsters. They just, again, I think shell-shocked is the absolute best way to describe it. Hershey couldn't get the puck out of their own zone to save their lives. The Monsters were hounding, the wheels were moving, the skates were going, and you could just feel it. Again, when a team they're down 2-1, but they have the confidence, they know that they've been here before. And there was no weight in their skates, and I can assure you, if I was able to take a look at the body language on the bench, they're just like, oh yeah, we got this. So I'm really not surprised that we're heading to overtime again. I thought Cleveland was going to end it even before regulation, but alas, here we are. Shepard's made some really good saves to kind of keep Hershey into it, but man, the Bears uncharacteristically just sloppy, turning the puck over. Any other day of the week, Logan Day would have had that puck and it would have been an easy clear for Hershey, but Malatesta gets to it instead and we're all tied up. So this is what it's all about. This right here, Game 7, overtime, all of the adversity that the Monsters have had to battle back. I don't know how you're not confident in the Cleveland locker room right now versus on the other side, Hershey with the huge regular season they had, defending champs, all of this. Now you're absolutely on the ropes. You're one shot away from having this entire season, I wouldn't say completely thrown away, but all things considered, it's a different vibe here.
And we have a special guest. Corey, my friend, how are you feeling? Are you as stressed as I am?
Can we get a vibe check? Oh, he's trying.
Oh, no.
He's trying, but take a look.
Can you guys hear me?
I can hear you.
We can hear you.
Hold on, just switching up my settings here a little bit.
You do you.
So just figuring out a few technical things. We have Corey Swartz. Hopefully he'll be back in, coming to us live from the Giant Center. And if you all saw figure appear behind me, that's my wonderful husband, Gary, who is refilling my water for me. So first of all, just a quick comment from KL. Thank you for this. I'm in Kansas City for work and cannot find a stream anywhere. KL, thank you so much for joining us. We truly do appreciate you. And the other 298 people in this stream right now. We're very excited you are here. Here is my fresh cup of water. Thank you so much. I'm settling in for the long haul. And there go the dogs. Okay. We had a whole line come back in here, and adding to that, let's see if we can get Corey back. Hey.
Oh, yeah, we're working.
We got you.
Can you hear us now?
Corey, can you hear us?
Guys, I'm trying to find the quietest side with decent service here. It's not an easy ordeal. I hope.
If you can just give us your vibe.
Maybe they can't see me or hear me. Who knows?
We can hear you for sure. What's the vibe there right now?
Nervous energy here, guys. It's not been good here of late. My unfortunate predictions came true. That the Bears needed to play a little bit better and a little bit less defense, and they didn't listen to me. Nobody listens to me.
Well, they kind of played less defense. They were more interested in giving the puck there to Cleveland, and they didn't seem like defense. A lot of sloppy turnovers. And
I'm having a little bit of a hard time hearing you, Andrew.
I'm trying my best.
But
I can't hear a word Andrew's saying right now.
Yeah, Andrew's a little soft. Let me see if I can't put up his microphone here. Thank you all for dealing with us as we deal with a little bit of technical difficulties as we get Corey live from the Giant Center. But yeah, Corey, just like, what is your overall feeling about the game? I know you talked about Chase Frisky, how you were really impressed by him, but overall, what's your feel on the game?
Trouble you guys. I got most of that question. So I don't like it, but the business is you're alive. The more you're alive, there's a little bit of hope. So, for the Bears, I think you just have to get back to playing simple hockey. It's not been easy. It's not ever going to be easy. But if you're Bears, you got to find a way to get your foot back on the gas in overtime. They slugged so hard in that third period. It's entirety.
Oh, and hopefully Corey can come back. We got a little, I don't know if maybe he can still hear us or not, but yeah, definitely a bit of a fall off for the Hershey Bears here in that third period.
And I think you can, even if he can't come back and add anymore, I think in that snapshot of his analysis and just, I feel like every time the screen froze, you just kind of saw a picture of a very nervous looking man. And that nervous energy, I think, is the fans, it's the Bears themselves. And I think Brad Thiessen had it right where it's like, again? Here we are again with this team. Like the Cleveland just won't go away. They're the cockroach in the nuclear holocaust. They won't go away. And the Bears got to find a way to get some raid on these bugs, or it's gonna be it's Game 7 overtime. I think you know how one way or the other it's gonna end. Ooh. Nervous energy.
So, Corey, what message do you think Todd Nelson is giving his team right now? Oh, and we lost him again. Oh no!
I hope it's not. I hope that's not a sign for him.
I really hope it's not a sign. And Robert, don't worry, I am awake. I was trying to listen to some coverage there. Corey, hopefully will come back. He's really trying, friends. He is really trying. Hey, Corey, you got us again?
I love the effort. I love the grind. He's getting in there. He's getting in the corners. He's going after it. Sometimes you just lose a puck battle. It happens.
Yeah, poor Corey. He's really, really, really trying. It's just not working out for him.
It's tough when you have all those people packed in together and you're trying to. It's difficult in this day and age to find a proper connection. So, hey, he's there. He's at the game. He's living it, and I'm sure post game we'll get his analysis of it all.
Yep.
In the moment.
So just a quick recap here as the Zambonis are finished resurfacing the ice. Oh, no, the Guardians just lost. Jameson chiming back in. Monsters got to win now. Yes, we need happy people in Northeast Ohio here.
Sacrifice the Guardians for a Monsters win.
Yes. So just to give us an idea of well, first of all, we have someone asking where they can watch. So for the actual game, if you have AHL TV, they do have a streaming subscription. Otherwise, if you are in if you have the NHL network, they currently are streaming this as well. Otherwise, maybe just check your local TV provider. Someone also asking if we can show the game. Unfortunately, due to the TV deals and things that are currently in place, we cannot stream the game just because of copyright.
You can watch it off the reflection of my glasses, but that's about as close as you're going to get.
But we have been showing highlights and clips of the goals all night long. So we will have them as they come in. Again, if you have the NHL network, highly recommend you go turn on your cable, go there. And again, AHL TV does offer a streaming service. They do offer day packages. So it's only a few bucks. To me, it'd be worth it to throw the league a few bucks to watch that. It does have sound. You can choose between Cleveland and Hershey.
Are we doing a challenge?
So I have people in the comments now asking if you can move your glasses closer to the camera and keep them there.
Keep them there.
Yeah, get us a mirror. Get us a mirror. I really wish I could. I really wish I could, guys.
Yeah. See, see.
Maybe one day we'll be big enough that we can do that. But again, just to give us an idea of the kind of rare air we are in here, Game 7, Eastern Conference Finals, where Hershey was up 3-0. Hershey won the first 3 games. And then Cleveland has won the last 3 games. Game 7 going into overtime, 2-2. So in the history of the American Hockey League, there have only been 5 teams that have ever forced a Game 7 after being down 3-0. Only 3 teams ever have won that Game 7, completing the reverse sweep. The last team to do that was the 2013 Wilkes-Barre Scranton Penguins. And the goaltender that did that was in net for Wilkes-Barre Scranton, is the Monsters' current goaltending coach, Brad Thiessen. So, yeah, Chris, I know I wish I could, but we honestly can't. But I can show highlights, and we are going to be talking about it all here. The players are taking the ice. My emotional support spaniel, as we are apparently calling him tonight, just walked in the room. And
are we doing an OT challenge before the puck drops?
Okay, yeah, let's do a Calder Times OT challenge. For me, it's going to be, if it's Cleveland, it's Josh Dunn.
Mm-hmm.
If it's Hershey, Mike Vecchione.
I like it. Same as the OT hero last year. I'm gonna go Juracek for the Monsters.
Nice.
And LaPierre for the Bears.
Nice. Chris coming in, tuning in because he worked late, couldn't get tickets. Giant Center is 12 minutes away. Oh boy, Chris, that's a heartbreaker. I'm so sorry.
He's either going to hear a building explode into the distance, or it's going to be dead quiet at night. But we'll see.
I think either way it's going to explode.
Yeah, probably.
Explode good or explode bad. So the teams are starting to get their lines out on the ice. The linesman's trying to get the puck. It's kind of rolling around on him.
Well, I hope that's not a precursor.
Okay, Game 7, overtime, as Tony Brown so elegantly puts it. It's 10-2. It's white knuckle time as we head into OT Game 7. Please drop the puck. Andrew Osborne. Honestly, don't care who scores as long as he's wearing a Monsters jersey. I agree. Okay, Hershey wins the draw. Very steady here to start. Long dumping behind Greaves, but David Juracek down in to get that puck, and they fight out. So we're in the neutral zone. Nice cross ice pass to Brendan Gaunce. So, all right, we got a nice save by Hunter Shepard there. We had looked like Denton Matejchuk with a nice shot.
Oh man, if he gets, I thought about saying him, but I still wanted to go defense. But I was like, maybe it's a little too early for him to come up as the hero just yet.
Wouldn't that be something, though?
Ooh.
But yeah, we have 321 people in here. Thank you to the 297 viewers on Twitter and the 21 viewers here on YouTube. Let us know, who do you think is going to win? So nice 200-foot game here.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Jake Christensen gains the zone for Cleveland. A little bit of a bobbled shot there. We wait out here. If you have the NHL Network, you can watch there. If you're in one of the local markets, please check your local TV listings. If you don't mind spending a few bucks, check out watchtheahl.com and buy a day pass through the league.
And it's not bad you can either do the 1 day pass. You can, I'm sure they've reduced the price at this point for the finals and everything. So it's not a bad deal.
Yeah. AHL TV is my huge source as we go throughout the season. So of an important note here, through the opening 2 minutes of overtime, Cleveland has the edge, 2 shots to none. Hunter Shepard now again with a huge save on a long Cleveland shot. So Hershey is doing a good job of keeping the shots, from away from Hunter Shepard. So they're not like down in on him in the dirty areas. So they're giving Hunter Shepard a chance, but they're just not able to get any zone time, which of course in OT, I get a little worried because we saw in the second period here, anytime that Cleveland has the long defensive change, they tend to struggle just a little bit. So 17:54 remaining in OT. We are locked up at 2. Cleveland with a sizable advantage on shots, 40-28. And
so it looks like they're fixing the glass panel in the corner there.
That's the third glass panel issue already fixed. This facilities crew, they've been fantastic. But they had 2 glass issues in game 6, one in the first period, one in OT, and now in OT here, another glass issue. Not sure if the players are hitting the glass that hard or if the fans are just pounding against the glass that hard, but
a little bit of column A, a little bit of column B.
I just want to know who the hero is, as we've been live for 3 hours, 12 minutes, and 11 seconds. Huge goal, or not huge goal, huge shot by Stanislav Svozil. I wish that was a goal.
I was going to say, did I miss something?
No, huge cycle by Tyler Angle. Another shot in on Hunter Shepard, but he keeps the puck. No rebound.
Oh, man. That was, who was that Angle with the wheels kind of moving
Tyler
around
Angle.
her to open the space up?
Yep.
Oh, man.
Jameson Hardy again. Sweezy. So that is now 6 shots for Cleveland in the last 2 minutes and 27 seconds to Hershey's 0. Cleveland needs to keep this up, or Hershey needs to buckle down and find a way out of their defensive zone, because right now this is all Cleveland. Oh, we got a one-on-one David Juracek. Okay. So it was Joe Snively one-on-one with David Juracek, but David Juracek was able to kind of knock him off the puck enough and slow him down.
This is what Hershey can't do, is just be one and done going down on the Cleveland end, whereas Cleveland's able to create numerous chances going towards Shepard. Hershey just one shot, and then that's kind of it for them. I mean, when you're playing defense, you're kind of gassed out and you can't really contribute offensively consistently. But there's another icing for Cleveland on that long change. So here we go again.
How's everybody feeling out there? Everybody breathing? All 330, well, if you include Andrew and myself, all 337 of us, are we all still breathing?
Technically.
Or I have to keep reminding myself because I keep holding my breath like, So, yeah, heart this stream, like the stream, give it a couple taps. Yeah, I'm just, nice save by Jack Greaves. Juicy rebound, but Cleveland coming up big for their goaltender, gets it out to their offensive zone, but Hershey maintains control.
Mm-hmm.
almost had an icing, but Alex Limoges in the right place at the right time holds off that icing for Hershey.
Yeah, Yurchek kind of took a cross-check from the back from Huntington and then didn't cross-check the Hershey player, but he kind of, pinned him up with the stick kind of, at that spot in the lower back where you can really kind of catch a guy off guard. And this is not the spot where you want to take a retaliation. You want to get emotional. You got to keep focused on the game.
So we got to keep an eye out on this because right now James Malatesta is out with Josh Dunn and Alex Whalen. So I don't know if something is up with Justin Pearson or if they just got caught on a weird change. But
Pearson took a pretty heavy hit in the corner at the beginning of this OT. I was wondering he looked a little wobbly coming out of it. I don't know if maybe he had the wind knocked out of him or something, but certainly something to keep an eye on. No, he's out there. I see 24.
Okay, so maybe it was just an odd change then.
Yeah.
And maybe Malatesta just got caught out there, or maybe there's so many maybes.
There's a lot. Yeah, there's a lot of factors in this game.
So Hershey is starting to pull a little bit of time in their offensive zone.
Oh, was that deflected or?
Delay of game against Cleveland.
Oh, no.
Jake Gaudette for delay of game. That Giant Center erupts.
Do that.
14:55 remaining in OT. Hershey going for a 2-minute power play. Y'all, if it wasn't 10-2 before, it's 10-2 now. So let's see. We got Jakob Zaboral. We got Josh Dunn. Looks like Billy Sweezy's out there. Okay, so
gotta make sure Greaves can see the shots. That's all. You gotta make sure Greaves
so we
can
got
see the shots.
Mike Vecchione, Hendrix LaPierre out there. We've got Alex Limoges. Very steady, very deliberate passes. Huge stick check by Josh Dunn. Jakob Zaboral muscles that puck out of there.
Mm-hmm.
So we got Brittany Metter saying that she's losing her mind. I'm right there with you.
Yeah. Another clear by Cleveland.
Saying this could cost them the game. Hopefully not. They're having a really strong PK. Andrew Osborne. We don't need that. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. So we got Limoges to the left point, passing it across to Joe Snively. Hendrix LaPierre kind of holding the puck, skating with it. Got a nice defensive setup here. Really clogging up the lanes. Roman Ashon doing an amazing job.
Yep. Nowhere really for Hershey to go.
We're okay. It's all good. 47 seconds remaining in the power play. Cleveland, Josh Dunn just absolutely diving on his stomach to get that puck out into
puck's out again.
Zone.
There you go. They haven't really given Hershey any real looks on this one. We got about 20 seconds left in this power play. And Cleveland's done a great job keeping them on the outside. Their sticks have been awesome, breaking these passes up and getting these clears out. And there's another one.
Another big clear with 15 seconds remaining.
You can
As
see
of right
those
now,
Monsters fans behind their bench. They're really cheering these penalty killers on.
The Monsters fans are fantastic. Like a whole bunch of them tried to organize. Okay, so we had a nice.
Yeah, we're even strength now.
A nice battle between Chase Prisky and one of the Cleveland defenders, but Garrett Rowe almost scored, and Chase Prisky is just like doing everything he can to get shots off, but he keeps hitting his own players in the backside. It's oh no!
That was it.
Hershey scores. Hershey wins.
Yeah, Cleveland couldn't get the puck out after that power play, and I mean the penalty kill was great, but they just couldn't you could tell they were kind of mixed up with the who they got that came out, and that's it. I didn't see who put that puck over Greaves' glove, but yeah, Bears win 3-2 in overtime, and they're going to be moving on the rematch for Coachella in the Calder Cup final.
It was the difference between winning and losing in this series has just been a single bounce, and that's exactly what it was. But first, catch up on a few comments here. Hershey does win 3-2 in overtime, game 7. It was Garrett Rowe. I'm honestly not surprised. That's his 6th of the playoffs. Huge clutch player. 3-2. Hershey wins, 12:22 remaining in overtime. But first, Brittany, I want to say thank you so much to your family and your service. She says they're a military family currently living right outside of Coachella Valley from Akron. Diehard Monsters fans. We want to see them beat the Firebirds. The key man, let's go Hershey. Yeah, definitely. No, sad times. Andrew, I think watching you guys watch them is even more stressful. But yeah, what a comeback from the Cleveland Monsters. I mean, this is a series for the books. Bittersweet because this Monsters team has been so amazing. I have been around some of these players since they came into this league back in 2019. And to see them go from just the years of struggle as they've gone through roster turnover, injuries, never-ending call-ups to the Columbus Club, to now turning from one of the bottom teams in the league to forcing a game 7 in the Eastern Conference Final. The love that they have for each other, the respect they have for each other, the fantastic coaching of head coach Trent Vogelhuber and especially Mark Letestu. But ultimately, the Hershey Bears, coached by Todd Nelson, who has been in this league for so long, so well respected, amazing coach. They find a way to come back in, but there's a lot for Cleveland to be proud of. First time ever that in franchise history that they get a division championship. The first time since 2019 that they've been in the playoffs. The first time since 2016 that they've made it this far. Fabulous season. I'm really sad that it's ending. But they have done this organization. They've done each other so proud. And yeah, Andrew, I'll let you take over.
Coming back down from 3-0, coming back in this game, scoring to tie it up with just 5 minutes left. I mean, this team did everything it could, and it's just that this is just the nature of the sport, is that someone has to go home. And Hershey did what they had to do in overtime. They kind of weathered the storm early. They took the pressure to Cleveland. They got the momentum with that power play. They didn't score on it, but certainly you saw them kind of roll that over into what eventually became the game-winning goal. And it's for as much on the ropes as they were, they hung in there. They bent, but they never broke. And now here they are heading on to the Calder Cup finals. It's an incredible run by the Monsters from October to now. And I think you put it very beautifully, but very eloquently. I mean, it's your beat, so I kind of expected you to. And as for Hershey, this was kind of their division, their conference to lose. I mean, they obviously defending champions, but in this league, things change so much from year to year. So for them to be able to kind of, even with a lot of familiar names, but a lot of new ones as well, to take that roster back to the finals against a familiar foe in Coachella. Todd Nelson is, I think he's done all he can in this league. I think he's well overripe for a position at the next level, but we'll see kind of what the powers that be continue to say about that. But I mean, what more can be said at this point? He went all the way to the cliff's edge, looked over and said, we're not done yet. Hershey's going to be moving on here.
So Andrew Osborne checking back in. Bummer. Good luck, Hershey. Live in the Akron area as well and work in Cleveland. Lifelong Cleveland fan. Enjoyed watching you guys. Thanks. Andrew, thank you. We appreciate your viewership. We appreciate all 338 of you that are still tuned in here. We appreciate you so much. But this magical season for the Cleveland Monsters has come to a close at the hands of the Hershey Bears. Again, Cleveland coming back 3-0 in this series to force a Game 7. And it does, like I said, I've been covering this beat since 2019. I knew from day one that this was a super special team in Cleveland. And it does hurt. Like, I'm feeling a little emotional right now. Probably let all that out. I'm a crier. I'm 100% a crier. Probably let all that out after we log off here. But the nice thing is, once all is said and done, I know I'll look back on this and just say, wow, what a team this was. Their camaraderie, the fact that, I mean, these guys openly say how much they love each other, that they're just so close. It's the best locker room they've ever been a part of. That's something that Trent Vogelhuber has done an amazing job. Like, one of his requirements is building that close, just close relationships, really hard workers. Yeah, it's just extremely bittersweet. I've been beyond blessed to be a part of it. But ultimately, Hershey got the right bounce at the right time. Garrett Rowe is incredibly hard to play against. And they're getting all set up for the presentation of the trophy to the Eastern Conference champions, who will be facing the Coachella Valley Firebirds in Hershey, I believe, starting on Friday night. So 2 nights from now.
Does it still, okay, here's an argument. Does it still make it a dumb idea to fly out here before the series was over, even if Hershey ended up winning? I still okay, maybe you might be justified. I still think it was a dumb idea.
So do you want to hear the conspiracy that I heard?
Go ahead. Shoot. I'm all for it.
So I heard that it was a plan by the league to try to level the playing field as much as possible. So if it went to Hershey, then Coachella was a little bit more adapted to the Eastern Conference or the Eastern time zone. So they were all good with that. So right now they are presenting the trophy to Dylan McElrath. I'm seeing who else is in there. Mike Vecchione and Riley Sutter. They're getting all their photos taken with the trophy here. But then on the flip side, if Cleveland won, then both teams would have short notice to fly out to California and would have to get reacclimated at the same time. So right now,
okay, that sounds a little smarter than what I was thinking, but I'm sorry for anyone in the league who's listening. I don't think your decisions are dumb. I'm the dumb one.
So right now, the entire Hershey players, staff, training staff, coaches around the trophy right now, getting all their pictures taken. And doesn't look like anyone's touched it yet. They are bringing in their little banner of counting down the number of wins left to, as they put it, repeat the roar. So, and of course, Garrett Rowe gets the honor of putting the bear swipe on it, and the celebration kind of lets loose here. So, and they're doing the signature Bear.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, that's pretty much going to be it. Lots of pictures, getting a lot of content for everyone's socials, and now the leadership group of the Hershey Bears calling for the players to skate around, salute the fans here. So, yeah, that's
it's the way she goes. Sometimes she goes, sometimes she doesn't.
So yeah, right now on the Cleveland broadcast, they're doing a lot of thank yous to a lot of the behind the scenes people. Right now, they're thanking the bus drivers that get Cleveland to all the games throughout the season. Yeah, I don't know what else really to say other than congratulations to the Hershey Bears. And right now they are interviewing Trent Vogelhuber. So I'm going to listen in on this for just a second.
Yeah, and we've said all we could about the Monsters, their incredible run in these playoffs, their incredible season that they've had. Lots to look forward to, lots of positives to take. This is the worst time because it's so heartbreaking, but it's, you're in the Final Four. You were a bounce away from making it to the finals, and it's a tough pill to swallow, but if you're a Monsters fan, you gotta hold your chin up high. You gotta be proud for these boys and what they accomplished, and everyone behind the scenes and what they've done in support of the team. And if you're Hershey, first exhale, because that was some very nervous looking faces in the third period and in that overtime. So you can exhale for that one, and you can get ready for the Firebirds. It's round 2. I know Fuego, the mascot over there in Coachella, has been waiting for this moment, and it's gonna be a battle. I know. I think game 1 is Friday, I believe. Friday night, game 1, quick turnaround, but you knew you were expecting it going into game 7. So I'm really intrigued. I think Coachella's got the hunger. Hershey. I mean, they looked vulnerable for a team that looks so dominant and so, I would say almost, flawless throughout the season, nearly putting up an AHL record in points and going through this postseason, just, swatting teams left and right. They looked real out of their comfort zone here against Cleveland. And I think if they're not careful, Coachella can take advantage over some of that sloppy play in their own end. They can make it a really different series than it was last year.
So Jameson checking in for the final time, saying later on, thanks for the stream. Jameson, thanks you for sticking with us all night long. It was great interacting with you. We'll try to have a few more of these for the finals. So hope to see you again. But honestly, I was okay. I was going to hold it in so well until I listened to this interview just now with head coach Trent Vogelhuber. And even when the past couple of seasons where he's been head coach, even when things were literally the darkest, the most difficult, he always had this half smile, truly just positive outlook on everything. And to listen to that interview and to have him sound so defeated and sad and upset, it got to me. I'm sitting here don't cry.
I knew you weren't gonna have a chance.
God.
I knew it.
I've never heard him like that before, and because I know how much he believed in this team, and that it just got to me, because it's just again, I've watched his ascent. I've covered his ascent from assistant coach up to head coach, and how much this team means to him. And that was rough. that was rough to listen to.
Yeah.
Just from an emotional standpoint, but they've got to be so proud of this team. I hope they keep a lot of this team together if they can for next season, because man,
right. You gotta run it back, right? You were right there. You were right there. We were this close to greatness, whatever that meme is. I wanted it for them so badly. That's just the thing about this sport. Someone's got to go home.
and it sucks, but honestly, historic run by the Cleveland Monsters. We have a part 2 of the Stanley Cup final. My gosh, you can tell I've been streaming nonstop for 3 hours and 35 minutes and 34 seconds for those keeping track at home. A repeat of the Calder Cup finals from last season, the Coachella Valley Firebirds, with a head coach that is coaching his final games as he has been promoted to the Seattle Kraken. He will be their head coach next season in Dan Bilesma. So there's a lot of things that the Firebirds want to accomplish here in the finals, from avenging their loss last year to getting one for their head coach before he departs to go back to the NHL. And Hershey trying to do the thing again, where they, as what I'm calling, going for the baker's dozen. Last year was sweeter by the dozen. I'm calling this year the potential baker's dozen. Repeat the roar, whatever you want to say. But I think that might just do it for us tonight.
Well over 3.5 hours at this point. And I came in late, and I'm like, man, I'm getting tired, so I can't imagine what you're feeling.
I'm going to have tea with honey in the morning because my voice is going to be shot, but it's okay. It's okay. Again, the Cleveland Monsters fall to the Hershey Bears. I hate saying it. They fall to the Hershey Bears in overtime by a score of 3-2. The Calder Cup finals begin on Friday in Hershey. So to all 348 of you that are still listening, 349, someone else just checked in on YouTube. Thank you so much. I have been Deana Weinheimer. That has been Andrew Rinaldi. If you like what you heard here, if you like what you watched, and you're looking for some AHL podcasts, we've got a couple for you. I'm one of the 3 hosts on the Calder's Calling podcast, where we basically review the last week in American Hockey League action. That comes out every Wednesday morning. You can find it here on our YouTube channel. Also, we post it to all socials. If you look at the Calder Times at any of your favorite podcatchers, you'll find us there. Andrew, why don't you tell them a little bit about TAPS?
TAPS is a podcast of pure chaos between myself and my co-host, Deanna McFerrin, who could not join us for this week, but we generally like to give a good look ahead to the games ahead of us, at least during the season. The playoffs have been a bit of a different format, but it's all about the chaos and the vibes. And we like to throw like pop culture in there when it comes to references about hockey. TAPS is a fun time. I really enjoy recording it, and we love having you guys come in and listen in. So,
and just as we're getting ready to sign off, look who pops in to ruin my day.
I had to figure if I could see if I could catch you guys. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, good. Much better than earlier for whatever reason. But,
so how are the vibes there now?
Holy smokes, guys. I don't think I've ever seen anything like that. I guess I have.
Oh, come on. I was about to say, you're not even a year removed from that.
Right. But,
but I get it.
I'm not going to lie, guys. I honestly thought that was Cleveland's game to win there. After the penalty, they didn't do anything much with the power play. They were pushing, but clearly, it just felt like Cleveland had all the momentum. And, as kind of it was in game 6, the way that game finished, all it seemed to take was just one little sequence where something went a little bit awry, and you just had that one puck pop into the crease, or slot, I should say, that Garrett Rowe had. I mean, talk about a guy. This guy didn't even start the playoffs in the lineup for the Bears, and now he's basically etched himself a spot in Bears history, the likes of which haven't been seen. Rivals Eric Fair's goal, which I was talking about on Twitter earlier in the day from 2006. Just an absolutely unbelievable battle, and hats off to both teams. This could easily go down as the real Calder Cup finals of this playoffs, in my opinion.
Yeah, it was a fantastic series. Well played by your team. You can see he's all in the Hershey Bears, but he does cover the Hershey Bears for us, and well played by the Cleveland Monsters. It's definitely a series that'll go down as a classic for a long time.
100% agree. It was one of those. It was fitting that it was finished this way because the two teams just absolutely killed each other for 7 games. I mean, there's no other way to put it. It was such a battle, and I'm still trying to find words for it, guys. It was a great game, great series, instant classic. These last 2 games, I think, honestly.
So I didn't see it on the stream, but did you catch if any of the guys touched the trophy? I didn't.
Nobody
look like
touched
it on
the trophy.
Stream. Okay.
Nobody touched the trophy. The leadership guys, Ness, Vecchione, Sutter, and McElrath all stood around it. They did not touch the trophy. And they did that last year. So, I saw the Firebirds touch it. I think it was the same kind of batting order as a year ago where the Firebirds touched it and the Bears did not last season as well. So we're going to see if the redo is any different, the sequel is any different than the prequel here. But we'll have more on the preview here. I'm a little concerned about the Bears going into this series, just health concern-wise. But, we'll touch on that a little bit later. But the Bears I don't know how much these guys can take in terms of injuries. And, they're all playing through something, it feels like. It's unbelievable what these guys go through and, how hard they play in these series.
So we do have one of our viewers chiming in saying that the Firebirds actually did not touch the trophy last season, so they decided to touch it this year, I guess, trying to kind of put a little bit of different voodoo on it, I guess.
That's my mistake then. I apologize. I missed.
Oh, no problem. No, you're supposed to know every last thing about every last team, Corey. Come on.
Yeah, I mean, we already established that the Pacific Division is not my forte last season. So, or over the course of the season. So that's just part of the course, I guess.
Andrew, do you have any questions for Corey?
We kind of got the vibe read heading into the finals. Coachella is going to be coming twice as hungry as they were last time. It's going to be kind of like a grudge match, payback type deal. What do you expect out of the Bears after what they kind of look shell shocked at the end of that game, and they bent, but they didn't break at the end of it. What's generally the feeling now you're going into game 1 here? What do you expect out of the Bears, I guess?
The short turnaround time definitely concerns me a little bit. You're definitely dealing with the highs of this series and what just happened here tonight, and you have to bear down to start another battle, pun intended there. To start a different battle here coming up in just a couple of days on Friday. So you just kind of wonder emotionally if they'll be able to handle that. They've been so good on home ice this season that, you like to hope that the home ice advantage is still on their side in that respect. But they have to be ready to get at it from moment 1 of this series. I mean, the only counterpoint you could potentially make is that, Coachella Valley's been idle for a few days now. Will they be able to bring it at the intensity that the Bears have just had to bring it at for the last couple of games? It'll just be an interesting, a rested versus tested type of entrance to this series here. So, like I said before, I'm a little bit concerned. The Bears are pretty battered right now. They're a little beat up. But I think they have again, they're just going to have to come out and, play certainly above their pay grade in the sense that there's going to be a lot of, like you said, animosity fire from the Firebirds really early on. Another pun intended. I'm just full of good ones today. It's going to be a hot series for that one. And, the Bears will have to come ready to play. And, as you said, they struggled in the back half of regulation in the third period there. They sat back on their heels and let the Monsters, really come back. And there's a lot of good lessons to learn from that. I mean, the Bears, as championship tested, you might be able to say they are. They really bent and, as you said, did not break. And they need to learn from that. They can't just say, oh, well, we've had success, we'll keep doing this. No. If you do that to Coachella Valley, they're going to burn you and burn you badly. So that's my big key, is that you have to be ready to not play with fire here. I'm 3 for 3.
All right, we have Light checking in saying, as a Firebirds fan, they're happy that the Bears won because they'll get to see the Firebirds live for the first time this Sunday. So yeah, super exciting. Always love when a fan can check out a game or their team for the first time. But yeah, I guess we'll leave it up to the AHL pre-show. Well, no, you won't be going this week because this is your show this week. So, yeah, we'll try to get some live streams going. But we will have a series preview coming up that Corey will have a heavy hand in, I'm sure, on the caldertimes.com. Series preview coming up for the Calder Cup finals. But guys, I think I'm ready to log off for the night. It's 3 hours 46 minutes 28 seconds. I'm done.
Me 3.
There you go. Speaking for me, you're right on the money though.
By the way, I just want to make it known before we sign off here that as the Bears were rushing up the ice for what eventually became that goal, I did kind of ponder aloud. I said, I would love to see a Garrett Rowe overtime winner right now. I'm not making that up, but he proved me right. He's proved me right a few times here so far. So that's my final thought.
I kind of had a feeling whenever the reports came out on Morning Skate about how loose the Bears were and how, like, oh, this is the same vibes as Game 7 against Coachella last year. It's like, oh, there's a chance. But ultimately, well played, long-distance handshake from Central Ohio to Hershey, Pennsylvania.
It brought us together for the first time for Game 2, and that will be probably my favorite memory of these playoffs.
Oh, thank you. Same, 100% same. I got to go out there and visit Corey for the first time. I've been working with him for years now, and finally got to meet up with him in person. So that was a cool experience. So, but we're going to go ahead and call it a night. So thank you everybody for tuning in. Again, if you like what you heard, please follow us on socials, subscribe to us on YouTube so you can be notified every time we have a live watch party or we upload a new podcast episode. If you prefer written coverage of the American Hockey League, we have you covered at thecaldertimes.com. Special shout out to our site and podcast sponsor, Document Doctor. So if you run your own business, need help with content or document creation, or literally almost anything back office, check them out, documentdoctorsllc.com. For Jay Forster, who was here to begin the stream with me, for Andrew Rinaldi, Corey Swartz, live from the Giant Center, I've been Deana Weinheimer. Thank you so much. Congratulations to the Hershey Bears. And yeah, that's going to be it. Have a good night, everybody. Take care.